Hello, hello, hello. What's good, y'all? I'm coming in loud and clear for y'all. Let me see. Let me get the screen up. Should be. Play chat here. No, it's not it. What the heck? Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get the screen up. What are we doing? Crispy clear, you're good. All right, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Oh, that's it. That's what we're trying to do. There we go. There we go. Perfect. I'm still getting used to streaming, y'all. You're gonna have to bear with me. And boom. Perfect. There we go. There we go. All right. Sunday stream. How's everybody been? Chat's kind of invisible on the stream. You're right, it is. And it shouldn't be. Hold on. Oh, what? You guys are coming in on the chat, but for whatever reason, for YouTube, it's not showing it. I'm still having a hard time figuring out how to do the how to change the font color for the chat. Oh, it's all right. It's okay. I can still see everybody. I got my phone out. Just a temporary fix. Here, I'll just take this off. It's all good. But yeah, man. How's y'all been? JJK keeps going up. It does. It does. Everything keeps going up. Like we got a good amount to talk about, especially like well, I mean, for One Piece, this is kind of like a recap chapter. That's whatever. JJK is on fire right now. But I don't know if any of y'all read Medulo, but if you do, going crazy. It's okay, Gabby, bro. I'll fix it later. I'll fix it later. We got I'll handle it in my own time. That new Bocce chapter got me tweaking, brother. The Bocce chapter was fuego. But we're having people come in. Welcome everybody. Hope everyone's doing okay. But yeah, this for One Piece right now. I mean, it was like I said, it's just a recap chapter. Nothing too crazy. I will say, I hate Ja Rule. I hate this old man. I don't know if anyone likes him. I hate this old man. I do not fuck with Ja Rule. I do not fuck with this old man whatsoever. Like, I had a lot. I remember on Twitter a while ago, I tweeted out that like I hate Ja Rule because he knew the entire time that Loki was innocent, but he didn't say anything. And people were like, "Oh no, it's the sword lodged in his head. He just doesn't remember. He doesn't rember." And then we come to find out, "Oh no, everybody, hey, Loki's innocent, guys. Loki's innocent." Like he knew the entire time. I think that's kind of what frustrates me with Ja Rule, like, or just just everything having to do with Loki. Everything having to do with Loki like frustrates me because it's all Harold's fault. And Loki, like he was Harold's sacrificial lamb, you know? Like Harold wanted the truth to get like let out, but it's like they couldn't do that. Like not in the position that Harold put them in. That shit pissed me off. Like it's just like only now when everything is going to shit that like fucking Ja Rule like tells everybody, "Hey yo guys, Loki's innocent." Man, that pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. Loki's been through so much, and it's just like I'm kind of tired of it. I love Jyrule. I'm sorry, Naj. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like I fucking hate this old man, bro. Like I was cool with the excuse of like, oh, the sword's launched in his head. That's why he can't remember what happened that day. This nigga knows everything. he remembers everything. No, man. No. Harold slander. I am home. Yes, you are. You're home. We slander Harold in this house. Yes, we do. Because like Harold put everybody in such a horrible position, and he like they couldn't tell. There's no way like Loki or Jyrule they were forced to keep it a secret. No, man. I just I don't like it because like Jyrule knew. Jyrule knew this whole time. I was so ready to accept the fact that the sword was lodged in his head. Nah, screw this old man. He did what Loki wanted, though. He did. Like, and see, that's again Harold's fault. Loki should not have to carry all that burden on his back. That shit pisses me off. Odin versus Itachi is a debate. AP Merchant versus Hax God. I don't know about that one. Yes, he did. Loki did ask all the giants not to say anything, and you're 100% right. I think it's just my bias. I think I've just been upset with everything having to do with Loki. That like it frustrates me to no end, and again, it all goes back to Harold's being stupid. It all goes back to Harold being stupid. But yeah, we got a few people in here right now. There is like something important I wanted to talk about with you guys before like we really get underway with the stream. And I'll probably bring it up like for any new people who show up too. There's this channel. Can y'all see this? Tio Hore Animes or George? I don't know how you pronounce it properly. Y'all can see that? So this dude right here is a complete fraud. This dude is a scammer. It's I normally I don't usually partake in like any drama or anything like that, but like this channel is just fraudulent. So freaking fraudulent. So just to give you all the breakdown, here I'll go YouTube one more time just so you can see it. We're going to take a trip to Kosu's channel. Shout out to Kosu. That is a homie and friend of the channel. And what pisses me off about this whole situation is that, for those who don't know, Kosu is another anime channel. He talks about a lot of stuff, but, just like me, he talks a lot about One Piece. And he's been cooking. He's been on fire this past couple of days because he did the lore accurate Luffy is a beast video, lore accurate Zoro, lore accurate Sanji, Shanks, Buggy. Like he covers a lot of stuff, and he works hard. This guy works freaking. What the heck? Sent one Polar Stone gift membership. Bill, hey, big fella. I need you to know right now. Gambler showed me what you said, bro. I need you to understand that. Brother. He showed me what you said. I know exactly what you did. Don't spend it all in one face. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Honestly. Wait. Oh, Nick, did you join? Oh, thanks, dog. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. For real, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. But, getting back on track, Kosu works freaking hard, bro. This man be popping up back-to-back 20-plus minute videos every week. Like, multiple 20-minute videos every week. He freaking works hard like crazy. And this person is stealing his work. He's stealing all of Kosu's work. And it's so freaking frustrating to see. So I reported this guy. And I encourage everyone who's seeing this to report this dude too. This is the name, Tio Hore Anime. Like it's frustrating because like what he's been doing is he'll take the video and he'll use AI to like tweak the thumbnail, and then he will erase the audio and then replace it with AI. And it's so freaking frustrating. Like, truly report this dude. I said, have a nice day. No, the fuck you didn't, big fella. No, the fuck you didn't. You did not say have a nice day. Gambler showed me exactly what your ass said. I need you to, I know, I'm not repeating it on stream. But I know what you did, bro. I saw that shit. What did he say? I'm sorry, nah. Something's gotta be left unspoken, bro. Something's gotta be left unspoken. But big fella, I promise you, brother, I know what you about. But yeah, like I said, report this dude. Report this dude. This guy's a fraud. He's using AI. These thumbnails are Kosu's, and actually, you know what? He's stolen from other bigger channels like Grand Line Reviews and BDA Law and Morge. Like, this guy's a fraud, and it just pisses me off when people leech off other people's hard work. But yeah, I mean, I think for this chapter though, for the one before we jump into JJK, I think it's nice that we're gonna get these are our big three, you know, to no one's surprise. Somers is 100% a Sanji victim soon. Killingham is for Zoro. I think we can all, you know, look. He's got the blade. He's got the blade on his little trident. Yeah, that's all Zoro really needs. And then, you know, Imu in Gunko's body, that's gonna be a wombo combo between Luffy and Loki, which I am excited for because I really want to see Loki pop off. Jinbei ain't doing jack shit in the Straw Hats. Let's talk about it, Unlimited. Let's really talk about it. This fat fuck, bro. I'm sorry. This fat fuck is killing me because he's just sitting there this whole time. What do you mean Brooke ran off? What do you mean Brooke ran off? What, bro? You're supposed to be the fourth strongest of the crew. You're supposed to be the third commander of the Straw Hats, and you just sitting there doing nothing. Oh my god, bro. Jinbei is like that. Is like the, you know, when you have someone who's really cool, and they're cool all the way up to the point when they join your party, and then they're ass. That's what Jinbei is right now, and it's so frustrating to watch. But he's stronger than Sanji, though. Oh, that's probably some of the most disingenuous agendas I've ever heard. Jinbei will never be stronger than Sanji, bro. Not right now. Not right now. You want to talk about pre-time skip? Go right ahead. But like right now, no. That is so ridiculous. Jinbei got that tax because of freaking because of his former warlord status. That's the only reason why he currently has a higher bounty than Sanji, bro. Jinbei is pathetic, bro. And it's like, I want to like Jinbei. I want to like Jinbei. Like I thought it was super cool that he joined the Straw Hats, but like we really have to like conceptualize that his biggest moment post joining the Straw Hats is fighting Who's Who. That breaks my fucking heart, dude. He was until Sanji awakened German genes. Debatable. Who's Who got some hits off. Jinbei still mobbed Who's Who, but hey, he got some hits off, bro. I don't know. I don't think Who's Who's doing that to Sanji. I'm not sure. Nami over Jinbei unironically. Hey, Jinbei's scared of Nami, bro. Whole warlord scared of Nami, by the way. No, but that's just agenda. I know that's just agenda, guys. But yeah, it's cool to see that we're gonna get these fights with Kill. I'm actually curious how Killingham is going to improve Zoro. Like, I think it's just he's gonna have to keep practicing against the Nightmare Sleep Tids, which honestly aren't even that strong. We gotta remember that freaking Saul, retired ex vice admiral of the Navy, was able to take out some of these guys, like some of the Sleep Tids. They're not really all that crazy. Just because Loki like did that big finisher on one of them, that doesn't really make them strong. Somers is, I don't know if there's any Sanji haters, but you should hate Somers because he's about to give Sanji the biggest layup ever. Sanji is going to like if it's truly a 1v1 between Sanji and Somers, Sanji's getting advanced Conqueror's Haki. He's leaving Elbaf with advanced Conqueror's Haki. Easy. If it's a true 1v1 between him and Somers, I mean, like, he has no choice. Nothing Sanji will do is gonna matter unless he gets advanced Conqueror's Haki. It's just a fact. Zoro is negging Killingham. He should neg Killingham. Zoro should neg Killingham. But I think the status abilities of Killingham is probably going to give Zoro like a little bit of a trouble, like being able, like he can spawn, his monsters, which, like I said earlier, it's not really anything crazy. But then also, he can put people to sleep, which if he can do that to Zoro, that's actually really impressive. I doubt he could, but like if he can, that's really impressive. And he does have a mythical fruit. So we've only seen like a glimpse. We've seen a glimpse of his power. So I think Killingham should give Zoro a decent fight. Whether it's as hard as a fight with him fighting King, I'm not sure. Guys, Rock's neg diff the God's Knight doesn't mean that Zoro should neg him. I mean, I think Zoro is at a point where, what am I trying to say? Gabon gave Zoro his homework. Zoro has homework to do now, and that's to be able to consistently use his Conqueror's Haki, which he couldn't use before. He couldn't do that before. So I think, given like if Zoro can like truly use it, like how Luffy was using it against Kaido, like if he could use it to the point where, he has it turned on and he's getting no drawbacks with Enma and all that. Now Zoro is cleaning like so many people now, because we gotta remember, right? We gotta remember going back to here. I'll pull up the panel right now. Pull up the panel. Am I saying Zoro's on the same level as like some of the other top tiers? Like if he like unlocks his Conqueror's Haki? Not necessarily, because I still need to see if he can use it consistently. But we got to remember that when I think it's 10-11. It just went to 10-10. Whatever. This still works anyway. We got to remember that when Luffy unlocked his advanced Conqueror's Haki in base, right? He shot up like crazy in power. Crazy in power. People were putting him in Yonko tiers when he wasn't yet. He was close. Like I think he was able to box Kaido at this point. He still lost, but like the fact that he could put like genuine damage on Kaido, crazy impressive. So if Zoro ends up being able to consistently use his Conqueror's Haki in his attacks, I mean, he's shooting up like crazy in power. That's just a fact. And the same thing goes with Sanji. Like I said, there's literally nothing Sanji can do against Somers unless he unlocks advanced Conqueror's Haki. So, like I said, if it's a true 1v1 between them, Sanji's getting it. Sanji's getting it. It's just a fact. Zoro currently has Temu ACOG. He does. He has his it's Temu. It's Temu. And it's like, this isn't even a shade to Zoro. It's not. Like, it's genuinely not shade. I told people for the longest time that when Zoro unlocked his advanced Conqueror's Haki, I thought it was good, but like people were saying he mastered it. And that's just blatantly wrong. And a lot of diehard Zoro fans were fighting me, bro. They were like, no, he mastered it. Like, no, he didn't. And that's why I'm so thankful to Gabon. I'm so thankful to Gabon because he shut that fucking thing down. Because Zoro unlocked it he unlocked Conqueror's Haki and advanced Conqueror's Haki in a single night. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't know what he was doing. It's why I'm so thankful to Gabon, bro. He told him to get your shit together, bro. There's only like hockey's only effective if you can consciously control it. Zoro didn't know. Ended the debate right there. Zoro doesn't have control over his advanced conquerors haki, but he will most likely coming out of Elbaf. Like fighting Killingham is going to be his homework. Killingham is the perfect like tool to advance Zoro's conquerors haki. Do you think Sanji's ACOG will come with the flame upgrade just like how his came? I think so. Like I don't really care about the flame colors per se, but like his exoskeleton gave him Ifrit Jambe, right? He's called Black Leg Sanji, bro. If there was ever a time to be hype about the Black Flame theory, it's now. Somers is the key for Sanji. Point blank, period. If Sanji gets ACOG before Future Sight, that's gonna feel wrong. Perhaps. I think Sanji should. I think all the monster trio should have advanced forms of haki in like every category. But since Sanji's whole thing was stated in SBS that he specializes in observation haki, I think it makes sense. And if you go back to the wedding during Whole Cake Island, you could possibly attribute that to like him like subconsciously using Future Sight. For those who know, I can't remember the specific chapter, but it was when he effortlessly dodged Katakuri's bean. That was seen as something like you can't just simply do with normal observation haki. So that definitely could have been Sanji's like, quote unquote, him subconsciously using Future Sight. This may be a hot take, but Zoro is just as talented as Luffy when it comes to haki. If we look at the entire series, he was tapping into it pre-time skip. I think Nikki, Zoro is up there. It's just that the way like Luffy had more to work with during the training arc, the 2-year training arc. Because you can definitely say like Zoro, he unlocked it first. And he subconsciously like was able to use it, but like I think it Impel Down, Blackbeard when he saw Luffy again, he's like, "Hey, your haki got stronger," and Luffy didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So I think they're both really good. I think it's just that Luffy had a lot more to work with the pre-time skip because he is a conqueror. He was a conqueror like before training with Rayleigh, and Rayleigh just taught him like he was able to explain to him the basics more. Zoro going into the training arc, all he could do was armor haki. Like all he could use is armor and observation haki. So I think that he's gonna eventually catch up, to the point where maybe he's on the same level as in mastery as Luffy because they all have quite fast growth rates. All of them do, but Luffy, in terms of like their usage, Luffy is still going to be clearing him. I think we can all agree on that. Like no matter what happens between Zoro and Sanji at this point in the story, in the final saga, Luffy is going to remain above those two no matter what. They like maybe you could argue that if Zoro and Sanji, if they both get advanced conquerors haki, that they can give Luffy good fights. Just like I said, like Luffy was able to put pause on Kaido after barely unlocking advanced conquerors haki. So this isn't really far-fetched to say. Like if you have advanced conquerors haki, you can box with top tiers. Does that mean you're going to win? Does that like necessarily mean you're going to like off rip win the fight? No. Like Luffy got his shit rocked. Like I mean, like they can get good fights to the top tiers, but like that doesn't mean that they're going to automatically like get to the point where they win the fight. It's still gonna take some development. It's still gonna take time. I'm curious if Zoro is gonna unlock Future Sight to attempt to combat Mihawk. Rip, I think honestly, bro, I think I think the person who's going to force Zoro to use Future Sight is Shiryu. I think we've had conversations about that too. I think Shiryu makes the most sense for Zoro to unlock Future Sight. I've said it in a previous video about love to see the streams. Hey, thank you, dog. I really do appreciate Indifferent. Thank you, bro. And we just for you, I promise you, we gonna talk about Yuji, dog. I promise you, we gonna talk about Yuji. Trust. But yeah, for Zoro's Future Sight, it has to be Shiryu. Cause like if normal observation hockey was enough to get behind, to combat his invisibility, then his fruit's fucking useless. Like either like the invisibility plus Shiryu's skill has to be what gets I'm sorry, I can't talk. It has to be what gets Zoro to unlock Future Sight. Because on paper, honestly, I think Zoro can beat the dog shit out of Shiryu. I'm not gonna lie. I think Zoro right now can beat the brakes off Shiryu. Shiryu doesn't have the same level of durability as King. Shiryu doesn't have the, he's not as a heavy of a combatant as Kaido was. I think on paper, Zoro should be able to beat the shit out of Shiryu. It's just that Shiryu's fruit is going to help him stay in the fight longer. Maybe Shiryu's awakening makes him do... I think it's possible. I don't know if Shiryu has an awakened fruit, though. Because we got to remember that Shiryu fairly recently got his fruit powers. Because when Moria pulled up, to look for Absalom, that was during the post time skip. So I'm not quite sure if Shiryu has an awakened fruit just yet. I think there might be more to the invisibility fruit that Shiryu is going to display that we never saw from Absalom, because Absalom is ass. But I don't know if Shiryu has an awakened fruit. Aokiji is more of an appropriate opponent for Zoro if there's a crew battle. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think when you unlock Advanced Conquerors Hockey, you're able to box with the top tiers. I don't know if you're beating them. Outright. And that's not Zoro. That's not Zoro hate, by the way. That's not Zoro. That's not a Zoro diss. Because again, like it took a lot. It took a lot for Luffy to go back and forth with Kaido to reach the point where he is right now. So, do I think killing him would give Zoro that fight? No, I don't think killing him is pushing Zoro more than he fought against King. I don't think killing him is giving Zoro a Kaido level difficulty of a fight. You know what I mean? Like, we know from Rayleigh's words that the only way you can get stronger with your Conquerors Hockey is by fighting like harder battles. I don't think killing him is giving Zoro a crazy difficult fight. It's just the biggest hurdle for Zoro is just going to be like unlocking his Advanced Conquerors Hockey to the point where he can consistently put him down. Kuzan versus Sanji seems like more of a lock to me. I don't know about that. I don't even know if Kuzan is going to I don't even know if Kuzan's really going to fight him. It's hard to really imagine Kuzan fighting any of the Straw Hats. I know, if we were to actually put the crews in matchups, you could argue for Sanji or Zoro, but the thing is that Kuzan, he has an agenda, guys. Kuzan 1,000,000,000% has an agenda. There's Oda's making it pretty clear there is a reason why he's joined Blackbeard. I don't think it's simply just because he wants to he does want to figure life out for himself. That's 100% true. He wants to, what the hell? How do we get to Don? There we go. I think he definitely wants to pursue his own form of justice away from the Navy because he doesn't believe he was never going to work for Akainu. I just don't think he's going to fight. I think, there's a very on the nose hint of what's going to happen, and that's Kuzan's going to be a huge reason for the Blackbeard Pirates' downfall. I think because they're all called the Titanic captains, guys. They're all called the Titanic captains. You know what I mean? Oda's being pretty on the nose with what that means. You know, the Titanic sunk because of a giant iceberg that hit them. I think Kuzan is going to portray the Blackbeard Pirates at a certain point, and he's going to be a significant reason for why they're eventually going to fall. I think that's the clear message Oda is showing. You know, I could be wrong, but like I said, I mean, they're called the Titanic captains. It makes the most sense that Kuzan, the literal Iceman, is going to be the core reason why the Titanic sinks. Yeah. Y'all see it? Yeah, you're seeing it now. You're seeing the vision. They're all called the Titanic commanders, bro. Like that is the key thing with Kuzan. Like, yeah, he's with Blackbeard right now. He's rolling with them, but there is a clear agenda. We know Kuzan. Kuzan is a good man who has like a true sense of like justice to the point that he would willingly leave the Navy. Right? He's to me, he's like FUJITORA. I love both of them. Like, they have like a strong, like genuine sense of justice. I think for Kuzan, the direction he's going right now, it's to keep an eye on Blackbeard. He has some kind of ulterior motive. What does Sengoku do? Nothing. Sengoku does nothing. No. Sengoku does nothing. What do you think about Sengoku fighting Mihawk? Mihawk's bounty spell is Son Goku, and Sengoku wants to stop Cross Guild. I mean, if Sengoku really goes after Mihawk, bro, I could see that. Like, I could see Sengoku going after him because, like you said, Sengoku wants to deal with Cross Guild. I think that's fine. The issue I have is that, like, Sengoku's not doing anything to Mihawk. Sengoku's not, and in fact, I think that would actually be perfect because, for one, it would show. Actually, not Mihawk. Let me put Cross Guild in here. Cross Guild in here real quick. Join the Cross Guild agenda, guys. Don't sleep on Cross Guild. Don't sleep on Cross Guild. Oda has no choice but to make Cross Guild pop off. For making them appear so late into the story, no, bro. Join Cross Guild. Join the Cross Guild agenda. But yeah, no. If Sengoku really does pull up and he tries to take him out, he's getting washed. He's getting bullied. He's getting bullied. Because this is a great way to highlight Mihawk's strength. You know, to highlight the strength of Cross Guild. And it's also a fantastic way, even more so than Mihawk, it's a fantastic way to highlight how strong Crocodile is right now. And I think I'm going to make a video on it later. But like by necessity, Crocodile has to be fucking crazy right now. For the sake of the plot, there's no reason for Crocodile to not be strong right now. Let's put things in perspective real quick. So we all know, you know, Crocodile during Impel Down and during Marineford, he is a legit monster compared to what he was during Alabasta. Okay, Crocodile is during Marineford and Impel Down, Crocodile is a fucking beast. Because he goes from a Alabasta Luffy victim to surviving hits from commanders. So this is already a low commander like feat, pre-time skip. Low commander feats already. Crocodile has to be strong as shit right now. He has, like, I'm not saying he's, like, you know, a top tier, but like he's got to be like at the peak of a commander. He has to be. He has to, because like let's look at what are the other heavy hitters we have right now? All the other main factions are gearing up. You know, we got Shanks and the red-haired pirates, fucking Beckman. You know, like let's look at the top of the commanders right now. We have, let's see, I'm gonna put it up right now. One Piece. Son of a bitch, I can't even type. One Piece. Vice captain's color spread. Yeah, that's perfect. The color spread. Even though, on paper Zoro isn't necessarily the vice captain, he's the fighter of the crew. We all know he's Luffy's right hand, But yeah, let's look at this. All right, we're not worried about Katakuri no more. We're not worried about King no more. Rayleigh is fucking retired. We're not worried about him. Marco's retired. I wish Killer. I as a Killer fan, bro, Killer got done dirty. But besides that, he has no choice but to be strong, because we have the three remaining commanders that are worth their salt are Beckman, Shiryu, and Sabo. I'll slammer Sabo to the moon and back. But as I said in like 4 of my videos now, Sabo will get stronger. That is a fact. He's gonna get stronger, but he's ass right now, and that's like we're not gonna gas up someone who's putting up terrible numbers. Okay, we're not. Enel victim, that crocodile. Enel victim, man. Don't make me make a video on Enel, brother. Don't make me make a video on Enel. He can't be him. He's going to lose to Sanji Polar. I mean, losing to Sanji with like advanced Conquerors Hockey, that's not real. To me, if he could give Sanji a good fight, if Crockett could give Sanji a good fight, and Sanji has advanced Conquerors Hockey by that point in time, that's kind of gas for Crocodile. Not gonna lie. All right, so Shiryu and Sabo here, so that doesn't mean anything. Hey, I feel you. All right, I'm listen. This isn't meant to be gas. Okay, I'm just saying that like by for the sake of plot, they have to be like somewhat strong. All right, Sabo is going to get stronger. Shiryu is going to fight Zoro, so he has to give Zoro a decent fight. If Zoro just washes Shiryu, that's a little bit lame. Just a little bit. And then there's Beckman. So Crocodile has to be fucking strong. He has to be. 99% of the casual fans got Enel above Katakuri. Enel should be in no one's top 30s, bro. Enel shouldn't even be in anyone's top 50s, if we're being real, brother. Until he actually comes back, Enel should not be in anyone's top 50s, bro. At all. At fucking all, bro. I need, like, Enel gas is like, it's the most stupidest thing ever, bro, because people gas up his Logia fruit, which he has a powerful Logia fruit. He has arguably one of the strongest Logia fruits. That's a fact. But the problem with Enel is that he's a fucking pre-time skip jobber. He is bad. I wish I could find the panel where Luffy's fighting him, right? And he's just like, yo, you're kind of buns. Everyone down, like everyone below the sea right now is way stronger than me. If you can't even box me, you're nothing. You're nothing compared to the monsters out at sea. Like that was pre-time skip Luffy. I don't know. I can't remember the exact chapter where Luffy said that, but it was in the midst of their fight. I don't know if I could find the exact chapter, but like it was in the, I want to say 275. No, a little bit more. Let's give it 285. Let's give it 10 more chapters. No. You gotta give it one more, because we're reaching long grand territory. No. So it's behind it. I'll keep looking, but I'm just gonna keep yapping about Enel for a second. Enel is ass, guys. Enel is so overblown. Like I get it. He was gonna wipe out an island. Like yeah, awesome. He had to charge that shit up All right, compared to any other top tier, they're just doing that. They're just doing shit like that instantly. Fucking Akainu is a relative to Aokiji. Aokiji can freeze whole seas past the horizon. You know, Kaido just off rip could just lift up a fucking mountain. Fujitora, or not a mountain, an island. Fujitora can like do that as well. Like it's not really crazy. And then, like I said, I'm gonna find it real quick. I'm gonna find the panel just so I could really slander this man. Enel is so booty. Like his gas makes no sense. Like people forget like this is just power scaling. This is just power progression. Enel is not like that, bro. He was getting his shit rocked by pre-time skip. No gears. No gears Luffy. You know, you understand what I mean? No gears Luffy? And you're getting worked by no gears Luffy. Not even gear 2. All right? Lucci was doing better than that. Lucci, pre-time skip Lucci, dog walks Enel. If you gave him the ability to put his hands on Enel, Lucci is beating the shit out of Enel. The only reason why Enel was so strong during the pre-time skip is because he was a Logia. Straw Hats couldn't use armament hockey. They couldn't counter his Logia abilities. Where the fuck is that chapter? No, Enel's ass. Pirate loop. Okay, here we go. All right, come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Come on. All right, Enel does the fucking meme face. He gets his look at this, bro. Eyes bulging, bro. Eyes fucking bulging. Base pre-time skip Luffy. No gears. No gears is doing this to Mr. God Enel, bro. Enel should be in no one's list right now. Enel should never be gassed up. Ever, bro. You're telling me like really picture this for a second, right? Luffy has no hockey at the moment. He's not coding his attacks in hockey. He can just hurt Enel because he's his natural enemy. But let's really think about that. Hockey increases the AP of attacks. So everyone who has hockey down below who's stronger than Luffy is hurting him even worse. It's so stupid to ever gas up Enel, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like I don't understand. Like Enel calls Luffy fast, by the way. No gears. Base Luffy, he says his attacks are fast. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna fucking find it just to really slander Enel. Like he's getting drawled up blood. No, man. No. Fuck, man. No, man. I don't understand Enel gas. That it makes no sense whatsoever. Destroy everything. Blah, 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 blah. He does the space out, whatever. Nope. Enel gets worked, bro. He's like, I think people really need to revisit Skypiea, bro. Anyone who says like Enel like is like anywhere in, if someone has Enel in their top 30 right now, they have not read Skypiea. They haven't read it. They're just assuming shit. No, Enel is booty. Where? Come on, Luffy. I need you to say it, bro. I know he says it. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Man, once I've disposed of you, everything can return to normal. It's my world. There is nobody left who can defeat me. Luffy's like, nobody? There are tons of people who can beat your ass. Like, he's like, nobody, nigga. What are you talking about? Like, go down below to see you go get your shit rocked. Like, and he's right. He's right. Luffy is literally like, what are you talking about? You're getting worked by me. If you're getting worked by me right now, everyone is working you down below, bro. And you're like, no. Like, listen, this is one of the great, like, show this to an Enel fan. Show this to an Enel fan anytime they try to, like, gas him up, bro. Base Luffy, pre-time skip. Like, nah, you are not him. 298. Oh, I appreciate it. I didn't see that, Hitsu. I didn't see that, brother. Thank you. I didn't see you drop the oh, he's fast. That was 290. What chapter are we on right now? What chapter are we on right now? We're on 2. Okay, yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Hitetsu. Appreciate it. Just to really put this in perspective, bro. Blah 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 blah. Come on. Yeah, there it is. There it is, right here, guys. Right freaking here. I can't even zoom in on it. But he says it right here. Let me. You should be able. I'm looking at my screen right now just so you can see. But you should be able to see it. It's in the bottom right corner. He says to pre-time skip base Luffy with no gears that he's fast. Don't ever bring up Enel in a power scaling discussion, bro. Just because he has a great fruit does not make him strong. It does not make him strong. If he's getting his ass beat by pre-time skip base Luffy, don't ever bring up Enel to me. Don't ever bring up Enel to me, bro. Until he actually comes back and does something, no. We're not going to hypothetically scale Enel, because that's the problem with hypothetical scaling. All right? Unless you have like legit feats that compare you to like other top tier characters, like if you have like legit statements that are just like, okay, this guy is better than this guy, like the Mihawk versus Shanks thing. If you have Oda directly comparing Mihawk to Shanks, chances are they're fucking relative to each other. You know what I mean? Enel has nothing. Enel has no statements. We don't know what he's doing outside of the cover stories. Like, he's just chilling on the moon as far as we know. That's the problem with Sabo scaling. That's the problem with Enel scaling. That's a problem with all that. You can say they're going to get stronger in the future. We don't know how to compare them. All right? I'm saying Crocodile is strong. Going back to the Crocodile, I'm saying Crocodile is strong because he has to be by necessity. He has to be by necessity because everyone that the Straw Hats are going to fight, everyone that, like, all the remaining big factions have heavy hitters. And if Cross Guild is going to survive, Crocodile is hard carrying. All right. If Mihawk is the Yonko power, Cross Guild has literally no commanders outside of Crocodile. He has to be strong. I don't know where exactly he scales, but like he has no choice. For the sake of the plot, if Cross Guild is gonna survive like and gonna make like big strides in the final war, Mihawk can't carry it by himself. Crocodile has to be strong. Point blank period. But Enel is outer versal, man. I know you're being sarcastic, but it's just so crazy how people actually think that. Enel loses to Funk Freed. He might lose to that fucking elephant. He might. Shame on you, they have Galdino. Mihawk will carry Cross Guild. Mihawk is carrying Cross Guild. It's not that he will. He is carrying it. Luffy actually has better lightning feats than Enel. Yes, you can say that. You could say that. Him throwing the lightning at Kaido, yeah, you could definitely say that. Like, Enel has a great fruit, but I think that's what people just gas him for that alone. People gas Enel solely for his fruit powers. And it's like, I think it's cool too. I'm a big fan of lightning like attacks. I think they're cool, but that doesn't mean he's strong. He's not strong right now. He's not. Cross Guild is getting Neo Mads for their commanders' trust. That's kind of booty, bro. I'm not gonna front. Neo Mads is like, to me. Like, okay, they got the GOAT himself, Gangster Gastino. I'll give you that. But like, I'm not trying to see Judge again, if I'm being real, bro. I'm not trying to see Judge, like, at all. Like, if Cross Guild gets Gangster Gastino, listen. Throw all your money into Cross Guild. If they get the GOAT, if they get Gangster Gastino, I don't know, man. Cross Guild might be the strongest of the verse. They might be. Put Gangster Gastino into Cross Guild. They gonna be putting up numbers. They go in Cross Guild. We trust, guys. Like on a serious note. Okay, memes aside. On a serious note, Cross Guild is the dark horse of the race for the One Piece. And Oda is not about to throw Buggy, of all characters, he's not about to throw freaking Buggy into the fucking war just for them to not do anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's pointless. It's pointless to throw Buggy in there of all characters, and they're just not going to pop off. Zoro is destined to fight Mihawk. We know that. And like I said, I mean, freaking Crocodile has to be strong by necessity. They're going to actually make a huge play in the story. If you think Cross Guild is not, if you think after all the hype we saw in Wano, and just for Oda to reveal that the new emperor is Buggy, if you genuinely think he's not about to pop off, you're crazy. Like, he, unironically, in my opinion, Buggy might get to the One Piece first. He might fail upward so hard, he might get to the One Piece first. There might be treasure on the island or not, but like, I'm telling you right now, he might get it. He might, just by the function of his character, he might get it first. Blackbeard's crew is low-key saved by Kuzan. Yes, they are. As a Kuzan diehard, yes. The Blackbeard pirates are 100% hard carried by Blackbeard and Kuzan, bro. By a metric ton. People always want to downplay Kuzan, and I don't understand it. I don't understand how you downplay Kuzan. Like, Kuzan is that guy. He's that guy. I'm going to actually make a video with verdicts in the future on it. But we're going to talk about, just Kuzan, Akainu, and Punk Hazard. And, like, you really got to put things in perspective. Like, for the way people gas up Akainu, people should do the exact same for Kuzan. Yeah, Kuzan lost the fight, but we have to put things in perspective. It took Akainu 10 days of nonstop fighting. 10 days, 240 hours. Sorry, 240 hours of nonstop fighting to finally put down Kuzan. You understand what I mean? Like, people always, whenever I see a tier list and like Kuzan is like multiple spots like away from Akainu, like he's in a whole other tier away from Akainu, I don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand it. Akainu took that long to beat one guy, Akainu with one shot potential, Akainu with the guy who he can punch your face off with one attack. And it took him 10 days of nonstop fighting to finally beat Kuzan. Man, Kuzan is freaking powerful, man. We're talking about a guy who was chosen by Sengoku to be the fleet admiral of the Marines. I think a lot of people forget that. Like, the Gurusei wanted Akainu. Sengoku wanted Kuzan. You know what I mean? Like, Kuzan is like that. Please, like, stop downplaying Kuzan. It makes no sense. Like, for all the gas Akainu gets, and it's deserved. I'm not gonna lie, it's deserved. Akainu like deserves his gas. He's gonna be a huge player in the final saga. But so is Kuzan. Kuzan is literally included in the big 12 final like saga characters. Like to like I said, to gas up. What the hell? Why is it so close up? Back the fuck up. No. To gas up Akainu makes perfect sense. I'm not mad at that. I'm not dissing Akainu. But again, it took this man, Mr. I can punch your face off with one attack man. Took him 10 days to beat Kuzan. Stop. Kuzan is extreme diffing most top tiers. All right. Everyone in them high tier categories, Kuzan is extreme diffing them. In some instances, he might win the fight. I mean, again, we're talking about a guy who had GARP level, he has GARP level trading, like he has GARP level physical strength, and it's more than likely that Kuzan has advanced Conqueror's Haki. Because there's not a single clash in the entire story of armament Haki that looks like this. There's like, stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me. It looks the exact same as Roger and Whitebeard's clash during God's Valley. All right? There's not a single armor hockey feat that is, with the clash alone, it is destroying buildings. It's reaching up to the mountain of Hachinosu. Stop. And yes, agreed. 100% Hitetsu, agreed. Even though it's not confirmed yet, I tell people this all the time. Garp's V card said he was not a conqueror for years. He only got the confirmation after Hachinosu. It's revealed at Oda's discretion. Conqueror's hockey users are revealed at Oda's discretion, okay? I 100% believe Kuzan is a conqueror, because it makes no sense, for one, for Garp to be holding back on Kuzan when he's trying to save the future of the Marines, all right? Garp comes to terms with the fact that Kuzan has made his decision, all right? They both have come to terms with that fact. Garp is doing everything he can to save the future of the Marines. He's done with Kuzan. He's putting all his chips with Kobe right now. And I believe Kuzan's a conqueror because it breaks the system of the story. If you mean to tell me that Garp hitting Kuzan with his conqueror's hockey, right? And Kuzan's able to match oh my, it's so stupid to hear, just to even speak out loud. Kuzan can match Garp's conqueror's hockey with his armament hockey. That breaks the story. It breaks the story in half. That breaks the scaling in half, because armament hockey should never scale to conqueror's hockey. Ever. And even though Garp is old, this is still Roger's rival, his main rival. There's no way, absolutely no way. There's no way he's not. And if Kuzan's a conqueror, you bet your life Akainu is a conqueror. You bet on everything Akainu is a conqueror. On everything. Bet the farm Akainu is a conqueror. If Kuzan's a conqueror, my God, Akainu is a conqueror. Easy. Like, I love Kuzan. I'm more neutral when it comes to Akainu. All right. Verdix is more of the Akainu guy. I've said that before. But like I said, there's no clash with armament hockey that looks like this. I think it's actually the previous chapter. Yeah, it's the previous chapter. It's 1161. Right here. See, look at this. Akainu, forget Roger and Whitebeard clash. It is a conqueror's clash. There is no quake bubble on Whitebeard's Naginata, okay? And then they have the huge explosion. It is the exact same. We're gonna get to Medulo in a second. I'm just trying to prove a point. I'm just trying to prove a point before we get to Medulo. It is the exact same. Like, we're gonna put these side by side with each other. And you tell me Kuzan's using just armament hockey. It makes no fucking sense. Can I talk about Luffy versus Kizaru? We could talk about that, sure. I could definitely talk about that. But I promised indifferent. I promised him we were gonna talk about Medulo. So I will get to that. But like I said, look at this. Clash together, huge ass explosion. All right. Clash, huge ass explosion. They look the exact same. You cannot tell me Kuzan is just using armor hockey. Like, if let's just say hypothetically it is just armament hockey, right? Crazy gas for armament hockey users. But also it diminishes Conqueror's hockey, because what do you mean someone could train to the point that they can clash with the Conqueror with just advanced armament hockey? You know what I mean? It cheapens Conqueror's hockey for me. Can we agree on that? I don't think any armament hockey user should be able to equally clash with a Conqueror's hockey user. Hey, Kosu. Hey, big dog. Hey, happy to have you in, Kosu. Happy to have you in. For anyone who is just now watching, just a real quick Kosu, I'm happy you're here, brother. Give love to Kosu in this chat. Kosu works his fucking ass off, dog. Kosu works his fucking ass off, and this fucking leech has stolen 4 of this man's videos. And then he's using AI to copy Kosu's thumbnail style and make his own now. This guy is a leech. Report him. Kosu be fucking grinding his ass off, doing fucking 20-minute videos, multiple 20-minute videos back to back every week, just for this dude to go and fucking rip off all the hard work he does and replace it with AI audio. Nah, bro. Yeah, man, I'm putting this nigga on blast. I do not care. Like, I do not care. I listen, man. When you're grinding with YouTube, if anybody who's listening to this decides to become a YouTuber, let me tell you this right now. It's hard. It's a hard road, and I get it. I get that you want like success really fast, all right? But if you can't survive on your own, if you have to go and steal other people's content and then try to act like it's yours, and then you have a bunch of people who are oblivious. I don't blame anyone in their comment section because they don't know this guy's a fucking leech. They don't know this guy's a fucking leech. No. I just think it's ridiculous. It's not just Kosu, it's other channels too. But like I said, I know Kosu like that. So like, let me just tell you right now, Kosu works his fucking ass off. And the fact that this fucking leech is stealing from him pisses me off because it's like, I grind like fucking crazy making my videos. And if I'm putting in a crazy amount of work in, I know others are too. I think we can all relate to that. We can all relate to like, you know, busting our asses off with something that we care about just for someone to sneak behind us and steal our work. I hate plagiarists. I fucking hate plagiarists. Nah, give love to Kosu, man. That nigga works hard. And I just, it's frustrating to see someone else like literally profiting off his work. All right. Kosu got fucking 60K views, almost 70 views with his lore accurate Luffy video. This thief is about to hit 30 from stealing Kosu's work. No, bro. That guy's a fucking leech. I hope he loses his channel. If he wants to fucking work hard, he could start from the bottom and grind up again. Kuzan trained under Prime Guard for years. Of course he has conquerors. Yeah, like, no. So yeah, it's not, you have to be born with conquerors, right? You have to be born with conquerors. But like I said, it makes no sense for Kuzan to not be a conqueror. What do you mean? Like, what sense does it make to have a fleet admiral not be a conqueror Saki user? You know what I mean? What sense does it make for Kuzan and Akainu, two of these strongest marines, period, both chosen to replace Sengoku as the fleet admiral, to not be conqueror Saki users? You know what I mean? That, you know, just from a thematic sense, makes no sense. Pretty sure you started YouTube when you were still active in SIQ server. Yes, you're 100% right. Me and Superior go way back. So I started YouTube back in 2024, and I grinded my way up like to where I am right now. And my videos were ass. All right, I can talk about myself. It's me. All right, my first couple videos were not performing too good. I had to figure out what I wanted to do. All right. And I respect anyone who actually tries, because this shit's hard and you have to figure out if, you know, the algorithm, how the YouTube algorithm operates, how it will respond to your ideas. And then you have to decide for yourself, like, where do you want to take your channel? All right. So like eventually, you know, there was improvement and I eventually started getting better at it. And like I said, I applaud anyone who tries. This leech is fucking stealing from other people and making a profit off it. Fuck this guy. Legit, fuck this guy. I really like Killingham's Devil Fruit. Killingham's Devil Fruit's pretty cool. Killingham's Devil Fruit is actually what I think a like more mythical Zoan fruit should be. Like Killingham's fruit is like like you should have a bunch of status abilities. All right. Like Marco, you know, he can heal not only himself, He can heal like other people. I think that's cool. I think Yamato's is I think Kaido's is actually cool. You know, he got the flame clouds, the dragon shit, all that stuff. Like, I think that's cool. I think Killingham's, though, I mean, like, he's able to access people's dreams, put them to sleep, make an army of monsters, like, via nightmares. Like, that's really cool ability. Really, really fucking cool ability. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. I need to talk about. Okay, so here's how we're gonna do things real quick, guys. So I'm gonna talk about Modulo as promised to Indifferent. I'm gonna talk about Modulo, and then we could come back to One Piece. We could talk about Kuzan versus Kizaru. We could talk about any One Piece topic. But for those who are keeping up right now with JJK, you know, slight spoilers. Not even slight spoilers. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Yuji has reached a point in the series where it's pretty clear. He's not just special grade. Right? Yuji's not just special grade anymore. Yuji he's above like the normal like way you would think of a special grade sorcerer. He is by leaps and bounds. He is, because he's able to use, you know, his blood manipulation to like an insane degree. We've never seen any kind of blood manipulation on that level. But then to top it all off, he's using Sukuna's moves like bar for bar, casually. He's using like his hands like a chainsaw, the cleaves as a chainsaw. We saw that when Sukuna was fighting against Yuta during Shinjuku. And then he can use black flashes at will. Son, this is actually disgusting. For those who don't know, how do I even put this into like terms, bro? How do you even put this into terms? This is like landing a critical hit anytime you want, casually. And he's able to adjust his attacks. He punched this dude so hard he ricocheted off buildings. No, bro. Yuji is disgusting right now. And that's why I said I think Yuji low-key surpassed Sukuna. He surpassed Sukuna, he surpassed Gojo. Cause like Sukuna on his best day, right? Sukuna on his best day, well, not even on his best day, because he was injured during Shinjuku when he performed that feat. But like when he caused that huge ass explosion with his furnace, it was crazy, right? But with one dismantle from Yuji, he's causing this ginormous shockwave. Look at this. Look at this. This is Japan. This is literally Japan. I can't remember if this is Tokyo or not, but like, look at the size of the explosion. This is disgusting from Yuji, bro. Exactly Indifferent. Exactly. He don't even have he hasn't even shown his domain yet. I need people to really understand. By the time Modulo ends, we're gonna see Yuji's domain. That's something that we were not able to see during Shinjuku. We saw him activate his domain, but it wasn't fully realized. It was a cheap little ploy to, like, you know, basically slow down Sukuna for a bit. Yuji was able to activate his domain, but there was no sure hit. There was no nothing, essentially. But Yuji's reached this insane fucking level, bro. Insane level. Again, I think the biggest thing, though, minus not using the domain, like I said, it's the black flashes at will. At will is so nasty. So nasty. We see Yuji's combos in the story, right? We see how, like, when Yuji, like, really puts paws on people, he's putting disgusting combos. You're telling me anytime he does that to someone, it's just everything is a black flash now? No, son. No, son. Like, we gotta also remember, like, Gojo himself was like, hey, it's hard for me to achieve a black flash just due to the nature of his powers, right? Sukuna. I believe Sukuna only landed, I want to say, like 2 or 3 black flashes during Shinjuku, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was 2 or 3. I don't remember it being a 4th time when he used his black flash. But again, the very concept of someone being able to use black flashes at will in all of their on all of their physical attacks, disgusting. That is so OP. Not even like I said, not even counting his domain, but the fact that he can use that shit at will, nah, son. Yeah, the power creep from Yuji is on the level of Luffy going from Katakuri to Kaido. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But also just his biology as a death wound painting and human. You know, he's the only person from his generation who still has a physical prime body. You know what I mean? Physically, he has a prime body, and because of his death womb biology, any of his blood manipulation, if it hits you, you automatically get poison debuffed. So Yuji has he has blood manipulation plus poison plus black flash at will plus Sukuna's shrine technique, and then he has a domain. He has a domain that we haven't seen yet on top of that. And we already know that that Yuji can use, I'm pretty sure he could use domain amplification as well. I'm pretty sure that was shown. And he has a reverse curse technique. Yuji is, like a lot of Sukuna and Gojo fans, for those who don't know, a lot of Sukuna and Gojo fans, they're really, really upset right now. They're really, really upset right now with Yuji scaling. But he's the main character. like that. I'm sorry, he's the main character. And it's just like, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. When a character dies, other characters have the potential, who are still alive, they have the potential to surpass those dead characters. Sukuna's gone. Gojo's gone. All right. And now you're telling me we have a Yuji who's not going to age. He's physically always going to be in his prime. And he's been able to grow his abilities to this point. And people are calling it cheap too, which is so insane to me, because it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. Because remember, Yuji, compared to the very beginning of Jujutsu Kaisen, not counting Zero, for Yuji's story, at the very beginning, Yuji at chapter 1 to the end of Jujutsu Kaisen, that was a couple months. That wasn't a year. That was a year. Yuji grew to the point where he could box with Sukuna. He wasn't going to beat Sukuna during Shinjuku without anyone's help. He wasn't going to do that single-handedly. But he grew to the point where he's a genuine asset to Jujutsu High and like the Sorcerer Society in just a short couple of months. And again, he's the main character. What did you expect? So now we're in Medulla, we're 60 plus years into the future, and you're telling me he has a prime body and he's able to develop all these techniques for decades? No, like he's super freaking busted, and that's so stupid to ever have betted against him. I can understand if you didn't like him, or like if you felt neutral, or you just didn't really, you didn't fully care about it. Sure, whatever. But again, Yuji, he's the main character. He was always going to be strong. This is like when people bet against Luffy. You know what I mean? This is like when people bet against Luffy. Like, what are you doing? What like why would you bet against Luffy? Why would you bet against the main character? Are you dumb? Like, are you dumb? Because that's the only explanation. How do you bet against the main character? That no, you don't do that. If you go to Dragon Ball and you bet against Goku, you're stupid. If you go to Naruto and you bet against Naruto, you're stupid. Go to Bleach, bet against Ichigo, you're stupid. You go to Jujutsu Kaisen, if you bet against Yuji, the main character, you're stupid. I'm sorry. This was always gonna happen, no matter what. This was always gonna happen, whether you like it or not. Yuji was always gonna be that guy, always. So the fact that he's able to, he's able to make this ginormous explosion. This other explosion is what we see with Rika and Tsurugi, which man, I could talk about Tsurugi all day, man. I've been a Tsurugi diehard, brother. But we're just focusing on Yuji right now. And let me see if I can find the chapter when Sukuna does it. Just to really put this in perspective. This one dismantle... Oh, shoot. There we go. This one dismantle from Yuji looks like pretty spot on. Pretty spot on to Sukuna's freaking explosion. Nope, not this one. I believe we go back maybe 2 chapters. Shinjuku was just loaded with a bunch of BS, to be honest. So no. Yeah, see, this is before that too, because of Choso dying. Rest in peace, the GOAT, Choso. Yeah, here it is. This is the one. This is Sukuna's fucking explosion, guys. All right? This is Sukuna's explosion. That he used with his flame arrow. All right? Sukuna's flame arrow is one of the strongest like attacks in the series, right? But Yuji is doing this with just a single dismantle. Oh, this is Yuji. He's doing a giant axe explosion with just a single dismantle. And the thing is, we don't even know if Yuji's using his full strength here. That's another thing. Yuji could still be holding back because he just did this to clear out a bunch of curses. That's all he did that for. So, and none of these curses were like special grade threats, right? They weren't crazy threats. He just did that to wipe them all out in a single blow. So there's no even guarantee that he's using his full strength here. No, Yuji's disgusting right now. Like I said, if you bet it against Yuji, you're crazy. You're actually insane. Punch and kick merchant. See, the thing is, Yuji was a punch and kick merchant, right? Emphasis on was. This man, he was literally he was thrown into Jujutsu Society like when he was 15, 16, and he didn't know what to do. He like all he could do was punch and kick. That was his best attributes. Yuji's had always been physically strong. But as he develops, he's gaining all sorts of other abilities, you know? And like I said, all that happened within a short time span of the main Jujutsu Kaisen story. I don't think it makes much sense to count that against him when you have people who have been training their whole lives from since they were kids in Jiu-Jitsu, and then fucking Yuji pulls up with only a few months and he has RCT, one of the most exclusive powers in the verse. He's been able to unlock a domain. He has blood manipulation. He has a shrine. Like, it makes no sense. They're all incomplete versions back in Shinjuku, sure. But now that we're in Medulo, 60 years into the future, what do you mean? You thought he wasn't going to get stronger? You thought he wasn't going to get stronger? Like, come on. It's casual. It was casual. It's not like he was fighting a crazy threat. He just did that to clear out a bunch of curses. He wasn't doing anything like that. He wasn't fighting anyone that like felt like he was like threatened by. This was just a simple dismantle, and it caused this Sukuna level explosion. Depending on the scaling and how we view this explosion compared to here, it might be bigger. It's also very possible he just kept eating things. Who knows what else he could have right now? You're right, Rip. You're right. That's a great point. We don't know, like, we know the skills that he has developed. What happens if Yuji has like a bunch of other skills now? You know, like we already know he has simple domain and a domain expansion. We don't know what can he apply with his sure hit for his domain. You know what I mean? Like what could be his sure hit? What other techniques could he have learned in that time? Because this is a Yuji, right? This Yuji, it's actually kind of sad to see. Like, unironically, it's a little bit sad to see how apathetic Yuji is compared to himself. Like, you know, in the past, like he was a lot more jolly, but like this is Yuji full cog mentality. Just like when he said when he was fighting Mahito, he's a cog in the machine. He's a cog in the machine, and he believes that Jujutsu sorcerers should not have to focus on Yuji. They should not have to focus on him because he's so strong. They need to figure out stuff himself. He'll still step in when he has to step in, but he believes society should grow without him. If they can't do that, you know what? That's on them. That's not his fault. Like, because that was a major critique that Gojo had with Jujutsu Society. Everyone was so super reliant on him. And then when he was removed during Shibuya, shit went to hell. shit got real fast. So that's what, like, you know, like I said, it's sad to see Yuji so apathetic, so like, it's like a really sad kind of like a nonchalant thing, but the mentality itself isn't necessarily wrong. Like, Jujutsu Society, if they're going to like figure out their own problems for themselves, they can't always rely on like their Superman to come and save them. They have to like dig deep and figure shit out for themselves. And we're seeing that with Rika, with Yuka and Tsurugi. All right, they're actually climbing crazy heights. Maharaga has never been gassed like this before, and I'm praying he actually wins the fight. I'm so tired. Like, I like Dabura, but I really want Maharaga to win a fight. If Maharaga doesn't win this fight, expect a Maharaga video. Expect a Maharaga video from me. If Maharaga doesn't win this fight, I'm gonna be livid. I need Maharaga to win, bro. I need him to win. I'm so, like, Dabura is a cool character. I don't really hate Dabura. I think he's neat, but I need Maharaga to win, bro. I need him to win. Like, Dabura is potential man done right. Cause his fucking ability was already crazy. All right. He had light, which is crazy upscale for the verse, but he had light, right? And now he learns reverse curse technique, and he learns how to use, he learns how to apply that to his techniques now. So now he can control darkness. I don't even understand what that means. You know what I mean? Darkness can be used in so many different ways. Is this darkness like Megumi's 10 Shadows? Is this darkness like Blackbeard's gravity? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Is he spawning a black hole right now? Is that what we're witnessing? You know what I mean? Like, this can be taken in all sorts of ways. It just depends on how Gege like does it. But like, Dabura has just been theorizing this whole time. No one is explaining anything to him. Like, Maharaga is just literally like his hard wall teacher, unironically. And he's learning more and more about how to use his sorcery. It's like, it's Dabura is cracked. He's cracked. Like, what happens if he figures out how to use a simple domain? You know what I mean? He figures out how to use a simple domain. Then he's like, I wonder what happens if I could apply my technique to this barrier. And then he ends up getting a domain. No, like, Dabura is nasty. I really want Maharaga to win this fight. I need Maharaga to win this fight. Dabura won my respect after the dance. Maho is, yeah, he is. Maharaga, it's not looking good for Maharaga. As a Maharaga fan, it's not looking good for Maharaga at all. Maharaga might be like shelved in hype tool category forever. Yeah, just wait for him to combine darkness and light. Exactly. What if he does that, bro? What if he does light and dark hollow purple? You know what I mean? That's exactly what Gojo did. He combined both of them together. So what happens if he does that with his light and darkness? Like, it's so disgusting. Dabura is one of the most cracked like characters. Dabura is honestly, like, he might depending on how things go, with how exceedingly fast his growth rate is, he might also be above like Gojo and Sukuna by the time we're done with this whole thing. By the time we're done with Medulo, he might also be above Gojo and Sukuna. I think Yuji is clearly above Gojo and Sukuna. I think Dabura is more than likely going to surpass both of them. And that's not dissing Gojo or Sukuna. It's not diss. It's just the fact that, like, with on top of having one of the strongest like cursed techniques in the verse off rip, he's learning how to use RCT. He's learning how to use his technique in reverse. if he learns like a simple domain variant and a domain, what's stopping him from being above Gojo and Sukuna? You know what I mean? If we go back to Medulla, right? Not Medulla, JJK 0. If we go back to JJK 0, right? What the heck? Where's 0 at? Where's 0 at? Okay, whatever. It doesn't want to pop up for me. That's fine. That's fine. It's the Gojo and Sukuna fans. Just blame it on the Gojo and Sukuna fans. They don't want me pulling it up, right? But let's if we go back to Jujutsu Kaisen 0, anyone of you can pull up the panel, but it's when Miguel is fighting Gojo, and then Miguel says that Infinity can block everything onto an atomic level. Light can pass through atoms. Light can pass through atoms. It's smaller. So, like, Dabura is unironically someone who could just shoot past infinity. If you take it for what Miguel said as a fact, and that it blocks everything onto an atomic level, Dabura can just shoot past Gojo's infinity. Like, literally shoot past it. He doesn't physically have to do it himself, but he could just shoot a light beam, and it's gonna make it past infinity. Dabura is one of the most disgusting creatures Gege has ever spawned into existence. Probably Infinity blocks anything harmful to it. Like, I mean, it might. I'm just saying, like, Dabura scaling his potential. He's potential man done right. He is 100% potential man done right. By far. Dabura is disgusting. But I'm honestly happy for Tsurugi. I need a gas Tsurugi right now, bro. Tsurugi's my fucking dog. Ever since Medulla started, I've been a big diehard of Tsurugi. I like Yuka. I love Yuka. I think Yuka's awesome. But like, I was a diehard for Tsurugi. And for chapter after chapter, I have seen people slander the fuck out of my boy. Slander him to hell and back. And it pissed me off. It pissed me off because I'm like, yo, just let him cook, man. Let him cook. And then we finally get, we see the significance of the ring. He gets fucking Rika. Of all the things that Yuta could have done, he put Rika inside the ring. Crazy buff. Disgusting buff. Right? But it seems like he's not going to use it anymore. And Rika took all of his cursed energy, giving him full access to his heavy restriction. Son, let's talk about it. All right? Because every time someone gets full access to their heavy restriction, they're immediately in that Maki Toji, category. They're at bare minimum relative, you know what I mean? This is a huge boost in power for Tsurugi. Tsurugi stocks are going crazy. Parabolic even. I have been a diehard Tsurugi fan. I've had to sit here for weeks hearing people slander my boy only for the inevitable to happen. His goal was to surpass Maki. He's on the right track. He's on the right track. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Yuka's gonna make it out of this fight. She's not gonna make it out of this fight alive, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because she's a cool character too. She's a really cool character, but I'm pretty certain she's gonna die. There's just it doesn't really make any sense. Like, I don't know how Gege would like fix that, how he would bring her back, but I mean, she has a fucking brain tumor in her head, and she spawned Maharaga before she went out. I think Yuka's gonna die, unfortunately. So glad he took after Maki, not his bum grandpa. Hey, I need you to relax on that, okay? I need you to relax on that. Remember, this is a Rika explosion too, right next to the casual dismantle. All right, indifferent. All right, let's not act like two goats cannot exist at once, okay? But I still have Yuji above Yuta. I have Yuji above Prime Yuta. But this is a relative explosion. Let's keep it a stack. Let's be honest. This is a relative explosion to each other. How strong would Dabura and Modulo Yuji be in One Piece if they had knowledge on all hockey types? That's kind of hard to do because um I think I need to see Yuji fight Dabura and keep up with him. Because the problem with One Piece scaling is that even though there's like a lot of hacks in JJK, the ceiling when it comes to scaling is too high because we have characters who are like casually dodging like light attacks. Like again, this was a fucking I can go to the chapter real quick. I think it's like 595 or 6 something. 602, I'm gonna say. It's really hard to say. There it is, yeah. 601. I was close. Yeah, it's kind of hard to put JJK characters above like One Piece characters just because of the scaling of it. Because this is return to Sabaody Luffy in base, just casually dodges like a light beam. So like if Dabura were to like shoot an attack, like a light attack at like Luffy, this is like canonically nothing for him. And like he's way stronger now compared to the verse. So like the only way like a Jujutsu Kaisen character would be able to get the drop on like a One Piece character is if a One Piece character didn't do anything at all. They just stood there and then they got hit by like a domain sure hit attack. Like a soul attack from like Yuji or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of hard to scale these guys together. We don't know if it was a serious Rika. Relax, big dog. Relax, brother. I'm not downplaying Yuji. Relax, indifferent. Relax. I think Yuta probably also like okay, let's just go back to it. Okay? Let's just go back to it. Yuji 100% surpassed Gojo and Sukuna. Point blank period. Okay? Yuji automatically surpassed Gojo and Sukuna. Like I think can we all agree on that, right? We all agree that Sukuna and Gojo got surpassed by Yuji, right? I think given what happened after, I think we can infer that Yuta also eventually surpassed both Gojo and Sukuna. Because again, like he had time. That's the difference between Gojo, Sukuna, and Yuta. Yuji and Yuta had time. Yuji is clearly top one in the verse. I'm not arguing for that. I'm not arguing who's stronger between Yuta and Yuji. But if we're talking about conversations of people who surpassed Sukuna and Gojo, you fucking before Shinjuku even happened, Yuta was already called the person closest to Gojo. You know what I mean? He definitely still had room to grow, but like Yuta was like that guy too. And the fact that 60 like decades passed and they're just still getting stronger and developing their abilities, I think if Yuta couldn't have surpassed Gojo and Sukuna within like decades, I think that makes no sense. Like I said, I'm not arguing for who's stronger between Yuji and Yuta because it's clearly Yuji. Prime condition, multiple curse techniques in his bag, probably a stronger version of domain, RCT, simple domain. Like he's got it all. And he might have more. But like I think Yuta, like I think it's fair to say that a true prime Yuta surpassed Gojo and Sukuna too. What's good, Boomman? What's good, dog? We all agree. Hakari got stronger too. I think that's possible. 100%. Like, and it's just power creep. I think it's fair to say Hakari got stronger too. I think that's completely fair. I think all these guys who were considered like the heavy hitters for Jujutsu High, I think it's a fair conversation to have, especially because the big thing about Jujutsu Kaisen when it comes to like scaling is knowledge. It's knowledge. It's knowledge of what to do. And when you see Gojo and Sukuna's fight, and you're seeing all these characters spectate it, and they're seeing what's exactly possible, like for Jujutsu sorcery, they're gonna learn from it. They're gonna learn from it. Like that's just a clear thing. We're seeing it clearly with Dabura. Dabura is learning. And the faster he learns, the stronger he's becoming. So when you have such a high level fight between Gojo and Sukuna, and you have Yuji watching it, you have Yuta watching it, Hikari, like the only one you couldn't really count for is Maki, because Maki has no cursed energy, so she can't grow in the same vein as them. Her growth rate is entirely different from the other three. But I think it's fair to say that Hikari got stronger too. It's debatable as to how strong he became, because we don't have really any material to work with in Medulla for Hikari. Unfortunately, I think it's really unfortunate how Hikari got done. Like, no bullshit. I think it's really, really sad how Hikari got done towards the end of the series. Like, he basically just had to stalemate Urame, which Urame is not even like, Urame is not weak. It's just the fact that the fight took so long between the two of them. That's the main issue. Like, in the entire fight being off screen too. That sucks. That really sucks. Like, Hikari got screwed over. Hikari got screwed over towards the end. I'm like, you know, I pour it out to all the diehard Hikari fans. Like, real shit. I feel sorry for y'all. Y'all got hoed. Y'all really, really got hoed. I thought Hikari was gonna pop off. I thought he was gonna win. It was just going to take a while because Urame is not a joke. Urame is fucking Sukuna's right-hand man. They are not a joke. So I thought, like, if Hikari was going to, like, pull a hard-fought W, but it was a stalemate and it was off-screen for most of the fight. Hikari got done dirty. So, yes, I do believe he got stronger, you know, decades after Shinjuku went down. It's just hard to scale him in comparison to Yuta, because Yuta actually has stuff that, like, is more concrete. Yuta has been hyped up to hell and back in Medulla, and then we see with the ring alone, you know, it's already doing crazy shit. Like, it's like I said, Yuji above Gojo Sukuna, Yuta, Prime Yuta above Gojo and Sukuna, Dabura, he's fast tracking on his way to being above them. Fast tracking. Give that man a domain. He's fast tracking his way up. And yeah, like, I mean, Hikari should be. If everyone else got stronger, it's hard for me to imagine Hikari to have not gotten stronger. Anime gonna treat him right? I hope so. I hope y'all are right. Cause, like, that's the saddest thing about Hikari. Hikari has 3 fights in the entire story. He has 3 fights, and 2 of them are awesome. You know, 2 of them are great. And then his final fight with Urame, we don't even get to see. We don't even get to see it. We see a tidbit of their fight, and then it just ends with, like, Hikari couldn't get the W. He unfortunately couldn't get the W against Urame. That's just a fact. Unfortunately, he could not do it. And he ended up losing. No, not losing. He ended up stalemating. Urame quit the fight. So that's not really a Hikari W. It's just that he was able to survive. He wasn't able to win. So unfortunately, Hikari, you know, I hope the anime fills in gaps. I hope it does, because basically once he fights Kashimo, that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting from Hikari. And that's really, really unfortunate. We also can't forget that Maharaga adapted to Dabura's light. If it's not Maharaga, Dabura's opponent is done after a few light attacks. Yeah, no, 100%. Fucking, like, I'm not, like, Dabura is disgusting. I'm just saying that until he has his own domain, there's no real guarantee that he could, like, that he's beating, like, Gojo or Sukuna. You know what I mean? Because, like, both of them can survive getting hit by, like, their own, like, Gojo can survive getting hit by his own Hollow Purple, his maximum output Hollow Purple. He can survive getting hit by fucking Sukuna's domain. It's hard to say. Like, the Sukuna and Gojo's reverse curse technique, they aren't jokes. They're also, Dabura's never landed a Black Flash. Black Flash, he might. Dabura might land a Black Flash, and if he does do that, then he's gonna his understanding and his growth rate is gonna shoot up even higher. Like I said, Dabura is fast tracking his way to surpassing them. I just don't know if he will. Like by the time Medulla's over. Until he has his own domain, he's no. So he's reached the end of Shinjuku Yuji status. Nah, I think he surpassed Shinjuku Yuji. Because like even then, like with Yuji's domain, it didn't do shit back in Shinjuku. I think just by the nature of Dabura's attack, he is well above Shinjuku Yuji. Like being able to use reverse, like light and darkness, he's definitely above Shinjuku Yuji. That's for sure. Easy. He might be holding a Black Flash in his hands at the moment. Maybe Marco. Maybe, bro. This is like I don't even understand how he's gonna do this. This could be a black hole for all we know. If it's a black hole, JJK, we have to have some conversations about JJK scaling. We might have to have some conversations about JJK scaling, bro. Dabura might carry them to new levels. But yeah, that's pretty much it for right now for Medulla. We're gonna see more, obviously. I'm hoping that Gege doesn't stop writing. I think Gege has really hit his stride with Medulla easily. I think this is some of his best work. I think Medulla as a whole is beating some of Jujutsu Kaisen's arcs. Like it's so good right now. It's so freaking good. I really don't want Gege to stop writing. But, you know, he said that the story is it's a limited time story. It's not going to last. It's not going to last to the same extent. We're only 20 chapters into the story. So, I mean, eventually it's going to end. Things are feeling kind of climactic right now. Tsurugi seemingly got the dub against Maru. And then, like, eventually the fight between Yuta and Yuka and Dabura is going to close. So, it's really hard to say. But I don't want Gege to stop writing right now. I think Gege, after all the backlash and everything, I think the fact that he switched out himself for Yuji the artist, like Itadori the artist, the fact that he switched himself out for the main artist and focused solely on writing, I think Gege has improved a lot since the beginning or since the ending of Shinjuku. I think he's improved a bunch. A break has done this man wonders. I agree, Rip. Like, I agree. Like, Gege's pen has been really, really good throughout all of Medulla. By leaps and bounds, he has improved a lot in this relatively short time frame between Medulla and the ending of Jujutsu Kaisen proper. Oda has to do that too. Oda's not gonna ever stop, bro. If Oda if Oda takes like a long ass break, it's either because he's sick or he died. Respectfully to Oda. Oda is not a perfect writer, but like he's not gonna stop. If Oda stops writing One Piece, he either finished the story or he died. Like, not to sound like, I don't want Oda to die. I don't want Oda to die at all. But it's either he finishes the story or he dies. Point blank, period. He's not gonna stop. He's 100% not gonna stop. Like, Oda is a work. He is the final boss of workaholics. The fact that his doctor's like, you will actually die if you don't take care of yourself, and Oda's just like, okay, so can I keep going back to writing now? Like, Oda is the final boss of workaholics. I don't know if people know this, but there was in the job application Oda put out to become one of his assistants on the story. He literally says in the job application, you have to be willing to die for One Piece. Like, Oda is the final boss of workaholics. And like, Oda, I think Oda is a good writer. I think he is. There are definitely flaws that you can make, like, that you can point out. Like, he's not a perfect writer. I think he's a good writer. I think for someone who can captivate an audience for over 30 years and keep the story relatively fresh, I think that's a huge like testament to his work as a writer. Easy. Yo. What's good, Konashi? What's good? Happy to have you, brother. For better or worse, he's not going to stop or even have people help him majority. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of his artists, like not his artists, a lot of his assistants, they do like a lot of background work. All the fights that we see, all the like all this stuff is probably a lot of it's done by a lot of his assistants. But like majority, like 90%, 80 to 90% of the work that we see in One Piece, it's all Oda. It's all Oda. So like the fact that he can give this level of consistency for years, like you could argue there are stories that are better than One Piece, you know? As I like One Piece, I'm not going to pretend like it's the greatest story ever like some fans do. But you could argue that some stories are better than One Piece. But the fact that it can remain 1,000, we're almost at 1,200 chapters, and it's still consistently captivating people, still consistently keeping the story relatively fresh. You know, you kind of can't deny Oda on that front. You really can't. Cough, cough, Wano. Yeah, bro. Okay, Rip. Hey. Like I said, you can't. I'm not gonna pretend like Oda doesn't fuck up every now and then. I'm not gonna say that he's a perfect writer. I think he's a good writer. All right. Wano was a roller coaster. It had really high highs and really bad lows. All right. We're not gonna pretend like Wano didn't have any good moments, but it for sure had some flaws, some strong flaws. And that's just what happens when we stay in an arc for 4+ years. I'm not gonna lie, another story needs to do so much for me to call it better than One Piece. One Piece does too many things at a top tier level. I agree. I'm not saying there's a bunch of stories that outdo One Piece. I'm just saying, like, you could make an argument for certain things, right? Like Prime Hunter x Hunter, you can make an argument for that. You can make an argument for certain stories here and there. But One Piece, I'm not saying One Piece is not written at a high level. I'm not saying that it's not one of the greatest stories ever, because it is. I'm just not going to pretend like it doesn't have any flaws to it. Like, we can agree on that. We can all agree on that. Like, One Piece is a good story. We're all tuning in. We're all reading it. We're all watching it. It's consistently a high seller. It consistently keeps people entertained. Like, One Piece is a goated story. I'm just not going to pretend like it's the best story ever. But who was it that said that? I'm gonna scroll back up from the chats real quick. Someone wanted me to talk about Kizaru versus Luffy, which I don't mind getting into. Actually, in fact, Rip. Okay. So when talking about Kizaru versus Luffy, Rip is in the chat right now. All right, King Ripzard, he is in the chat right now. He can verify 100% that when the food thing got brought up, I was the first person to call it. I was the first person to say Kizaru gave Luffy the food. And I swear, people were jumping down my back, bro. People were calling me stupid and that I don't know what I'm talking about. People were slandering me. It was back during Superior IQ's Discord chat. So this was before I made my channel, I believe. I think I was actually making videos. It's just that I wasn't as big currently as I am right now. But like I said, people were slandering the fuck out of me for saying that Kizaru gave Luffy the food. People were slandering my name to hell and back in that chat. I was getting laughed at like crazy. And I told Rip, I was DMing him. I was like, we were going back and forth because, you know, I will say this, you know, Rip was skeptical too, but he wasn't slandering me. It was just like, it was like genuine, like we were just trying to figure out how the food got there, right? And so I was telling Rip that it was Kizaru. Rip wasn't sold about it just yet because, again, this was a fresh chapter. We're still learning information. So this isn't shade to Rip. But I told this man for the longest time that fucking Kizaru gave Luffy the food. And when fucking SBS 110 came out, dog, I was the most obnoxious nigga in that chat, bro. I was the most obnoxious person in that chat because I was proven right. People always want to talk about reading comprehension. This was the most cathartic SBS for me by leaps and bounds because I fucking called it. And I can prove this shit to you right now because there's still people to this day, right, who still want to cope and talk about, well, it could have been Frankie or it could have been Sanji. It was Kizaru. It was Kizaru who gave Luffy the food, all right? And I can prove on stream right now why, all right? So we're gonna break this shit down step by fucking step, all right? We're on chapter 1103, all right? Here we have Saturn is using his eye ability. Both Frankie and Sanji can't move. Sanji goes out of his way to say, damn it, why can't I move? All right, Luffy's begging for food. Atlas is like, I wish I could give you some, but I can't right now, right? And then fucking here we have Kizaru's right here. Oh, he's sentimental. He's thinking of Sentomaru and Bonnie. He's thinking of his friends. Sanji and Frankie still can't move. All of a sudden, food spawns. All of a sudden, food spawns in, right? And don't you think it's and then the very next panel, Kizaru's up. He's up off the ground. I was telling people for ages, and they were laughing at me. And then when you go back to chapter 1104, the very next chapter after Kuma pulls up and socks the shit out of Saturn, right? Goes in, socks the shit out of Saturn. This is one of Oda's best panels, by the way. This is a clean ass panel, super duper clean panel. But we go in, he socks the shit out of Saturn, right? And boom, right here. It's only after Saturn gets punched by Kuma, Sanji goes, finally, I can move again. Bonnie, are you hurt? That ends the debate right there. There was only one person to give Luffy that food, and it was fucking Kizaru. All right? Point blank period. Frankie and Sanji could not move, all right? The debate ends. If you actually thought it was Sanji or Frankie, respectfully, no, it was not. We just broke it down step by step. And I still see people saying it was either Frankie or Sanji to this day. And it's just cope because they don't like the fact that Kizaru was the meme. Kizaru was the lunch meme. He was Luffy's delivery man. All right? Where was it? He was Uber Eats. I can't even. Oh, come on. That's a great meme. How the hell is Google not looking this shit up? All right, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. But yeah, man. This was such a stupid agenda. All right, but getting into Luffy versus Kizaru, right? So not only does the SBS confirm SBS, which again, for anyone who doesn't know, SBSs are direct statements from Oda himself. So not only does the SBS 110 confirm that Kizaru gave Luffy the food, you know, he gave his fucking enemy, an Emperor of the Sea, food to recover so he could get up. But in the Vivre cards, in Kizaru's Vivre card, it stated that he was completely done after he helped Luffy out. Not after he helped Luffy out. After Vegapunk died. After Vegapunk died, he lost his entire will to fight. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. I'm going to my Twitter. Follow my Twitter if you're not. All that jazz and shit. Let me see if I can look it up. Kizaru's Vivre card. I was going crazy. I was going crazy, man, when that shit dropped. I was going crazy. Yeah, like there was a bunch of shit that was going on, talking about how Kizaru was nerfed, how his fucking mindset was bad. I'm trying to find the one for the Japanese where it said that he was completely done after Vegapunk died. I can find it. I know it's there because I had it in one of my videos. I wonder if I have it on file. I have a lot of folders, don't worry about it. I need to update this file. What the hell? I can just break this down. It's there. I promise. I could even put a community post up just to show it. I'll find it. But essentially, for those who are tuning in right now, we're talking about Luffy versus Kizaru because it's one of the most contentious fights in the story, just given how people perceive the admirals, and because like a lot of people believe that if you don't have Conqueror's Haki, you're not a true top tier, or you're not like really that guy. You're just not. You can't. Like, here's the thing, right? For those who want to keep dancing around it, the whole idea with the admirals versus Yonkos, the admirals are also top tiers. All right. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. We're all adults here. We can all agree, right? No commander. There is not a single commander in the verse. Not even fucking Beckman. I don't give a fuck. Not even Beckman. There is no commander who is bullying Snake Man Egghead Luffy to this degree. And he's bullying him. All right? The anime made it fucking clear that this is bad. This is bad. I need people to truly understand this, right? I need people to really understand this. I've said it so many times now, and I'll say it again. The fact that fucking Kaido needed Future Sight to counter Snake Man is insane. All right? No matter how you slice, and this was Kaido post him saying he wasn't going to hold back against Luffy. He needed Future Sight. That's how fast Luffy's moving right now. And this is not only a fresh, this is all, let me close this one and this one. And boom. All right. This is a fresher Luffy. A fresher Luffy compared to when he was fighting Kaido. All right. He's in way better condition. He ate food before this fight, so he's in good condition right now. And Kizaru's bullying him. He's bullying him. It's not looking good. All right. Luffy is sweating. Luffy is sweating right now. All right. He was talking heavy shit in base just for him to get pushed all the way to Gear 4 by the time we see him again. And Kizaru just fucking dog walks him. This might be a low diff. This might be a no diff if we're being honest. And I'm not even saying that to be shady to Luffy. Or I'm not. This is okay. I've said this before in my videos, and I've said this before last week during my stream. I don't care. I do not care about the Yonko versus Admiral debate. I feel like it's a lot more nuanced than what people make it out to be. Okay? I believe there's a clear edge for many characters who have access to Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Okay? I'm going to say that right now. I believe there's a clear, it's because it is. It's a huge boost in your AP for your attacks. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie to people and pretend like a top tier character with Advanced Conqueror's Haki isn't a threat. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I think that the conversation is a lot more nuanced because again, Kaido needed Future Sight to counter Snake Man Luffy. All right. Also, by the way, before people jump down my throat too, I just want to also preface, this is not about Kaido versus Kizaru either. Okay? This isn't about Kaido versus Kizaru either. So I don't want to hear anyone try to start like some shit in the comment section. That's not what this is about. I was asked to break down Luffy versus Kizaru. We're going to break down Luffy versus Kizaru. All right? There's no commander in my eyes in this story who is going to be able to like legit handle or like no diff, low diff, whatever fucking diff you can think of. No commander is fighting Snake Man Luffy, and they're gonna do him the way Kizaru did to Luffy. There's no commander who's doing that. Exactly indifferent. He needed it. He needed Gear 5. Snake Man is his fastest form. Bound Man is canonically slower than Snake Man. All right? He needed his second fastest form. And he got bullied. He needed Gear 5 against Kizaru. All right? Which again, it's a testament to it is a testament to the Admirals. It is a testament to the Admirals because I believe it was SBS 93 that confirmed essentially that the Admirals are like they are relative to each other. They're relative to each other. So I'm gonna keep it real. I mean, like obviously you can make an argument that Kizaru is like the fastest in the verse. You can make a 100% argument on that. But again, this is bad. Can we agree that Luffy got fucking like bullied? This might be a no diff. Low diff to no diff. All right, Kizaru was not trying, bro. He was not trying the way he was against Gear 5 Luffy. Gear 5 is a huge jump in Luffy's power. I mean, it's his awakening. It should be. There's a certain level of fetishization of ACOG that the fan base yes, there is. And like I said, I'm not going to pretend that Advanced Conquerors Hockey is like some BS. Advanced Conquerors Hockey is powerful. Advanced Conquerors Hockey is what separates like, a lot of characters from like reaching new stages. But people pretend that like you can't fight Advanced Conquerors Hockey users. You might have a harder time against them, but people are acting like you can't fight them. Okay? So here we go. We're moving on. Snake Man Luffy got his ass beat by Kizaru. Luffy has no choice but to come back in Gear 5. No choice. He got throttled. Snake Man is canonically his second fastest form. I remember it was D Straw Hat, for those who don't remember. D Straw Hat? When this video came, well, not the video, when these chapters were dropping, he made a poll on, I think it was like Kaido versus Luffy. Something like that. And in that post that he made, he was talking about he's like, Akainu is that guy if like Kizaru is treating Luffy like this. And people were saying, oh, well, Luffy has other forms. He has other forms outside of Gear 5, but they're all canonically slower. Snake Man is his fastest form. His second fastest form. All right? And if Snake Man's getting done dirty, what hope does Bound Man have? What hope does Tank Man have? You know what I mean? Like, the fact Luffy started the fight against Kizaru in base, and the next time we see him, he had no choice but to go Gear 4, is a testament to how strong Kizaru is. So, Luffy throws him away, whatever. Kizaru doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. He is unfazed this whole time. Does not care. Comes in, spawns clones. Son, when I told, my mouth dropped. My mouth dropped when this scene happened, bro. Because this told me right there, this sandbagger was not doing shit. He was not doing shit in Marineford. A lot of people would be like, oh, well, we don't know if he got strong. Guys, I need y'all to understand, Kizaru didn't even use his sword during Marineford, okay? Kizaru was trolling like fucking crazy in Marineford, All right, like we're not playing this game. We're not playing this game, son. No, we are not. Kizaru was doing people dirty, bro. He was. Let me pull up this thing. Let me pull up this. Look at this. Look how he was doing Whitebeard, bro. Whitebeard was trying to hit him, dodged it, fucking fires a shot into this man's chest. Not a single time, not a single fucking time did he pull out his sword. Kizaru's nasty. So then when he pulls out clones for the first time, this is one of the most disgusting things. Imagine getting jumped by like 9 different Kizarus. For like, if you're like, that might be death for like the majority of the cast. That might be death. That might be death. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Again, this is a mentally nerfed Kizaru. All right, he's mentally nerfed, and he tricks Luffy. Luffy with all his observation hawking stuff. He thinks he caught Kizaru. Turns out Kizaru fucking blitzed the shit out of Luffy, broke his ankles, broke his fucking ankles, and made it all the way to Vegapunk. Well, make it all the way to Usopp, right? He was shocked. He was not expecting Kizaru to just do that to him like that. And it's consistent because if we go to the next chapter, 1094, I believe. We go to the next chapter. He does it again. And here we have them clashing, right? This shows me again right here. These guys are boxing with each other. Gear 5 is not a lightweight. Gear 5 is not a lightweight. All right. Gear 5 closed the gap between him and Kizaru. It gave Luffy the ability to fight against Kizaru, right? It gave him the ability to fight against Kizaru. But Kizaru is still leagues faster than Luffy. All right. He's not trying to waste time on Luffy. He's like, hey man, I'm just trying to do my job. He's lying through his fucking teeth because he doesn't want to fucking kill Vegapunk. But he has no choice. He has no choice. That's the mission he was set on. And he blitzes Luffy. Luffy's like, wait up. Wait up. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty bad. Like, I don't know how people read like what happened between Luffy versus Kizaru and be like, yeah, man, Luffy dog walked Kizaru. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was not dog walking Kizaru. This was not a dog walk. Luffy got embarrassed in Snake Man and had no choice but to come back in Gear 5 to close the gap. And Kizaru is still blitzing him. He's still faster than Luffy. Point blank period. And you can 100% argue that Luffy hits harder than Kizaru. I'm not arguing against that. I'm not arguing against that. You could 100% say that Luffy hits harder than Kizaru. But this attack didn't put him down. It didn't put down Kizaru. He's sandbagging right now. He is. Like, that's not cope, that's not agenda. He's sandbagging. The fact that, again, confirmation from the author, confirmation from Oda, that Kizaru went out of his way to help his enemy get food is not good. It's not good. He's sandbagging like fucking crazy. The clones means that he wasn't trying against Rayleigh too. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Okay. Like he's mad that people always want to be like, oh, Kizaru's mad because he wasn't able to get past Rayleigh. And so he goes and like he captures like 500 nameless pirates that we don't fucking know about or care about. Like, again, going back to it, the clones are disgusting. The clones are one of the most strong. Again, imagine getting jumped by like 9 different Kizarus. And that was only the amount of clones that he spawned into the fight. We don't know if he could spawn like 10, 20, 30. Like, we don't know that. Just imagine getting jumped by more than one Kizaru. That's death for most characters. And like I said, I'm not saying that Luffy, I think Luffy hits harder than Kizaru. That's true. Luffy's not outlasting Kizaru. He's not outlasting Kizaru, especially because, again, the Vivi cards and just reading the story paint a perfect picture that Kizaru was not going all out on Egghead. The fact that he went out of his way to help his sworn enemy, a fucking Yonko of the sea, an emperor of the sea. He went out of his way to do that for Luffy so he could save Vegapunk. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I'm sorry. So like when people like want to debate about Luffy versus Kizaru, I think right at this moment in where we are in the story, I think right now in an honest 1v1 serious fight with each other, Kizaru is beating Luffy because Luffy has horrible stamina. Luffy fans do not okay. We all like Luffy. Okay, we're all fans of the series. I don't understand why someone would like genuinely hate Luffy and read One Piece. Like that just seems like torture. We all like Luffy, okay? But there are some diehard rubber writers who go out of their way to glaze Luffy and say like, oh, well, Luffy could beat anyone on Gear 5. No, he can't. He can't. He needed his sword fucking enemy to deliver him food. He can't. He has horrible stamina at the moment. At the moment. I believe this is going to get resolved in the future. But if he needs his fucking enemy's help to get back up in a fight, that's not good. People want to bring up the heart reset thing that he did with Kaido, but the problem with that is that it happened once. It didn't happen anymore. It happened a single time. We never see the heart restop again. He gasses out and then like he restarts. That happened once. The more consistent thing that's been occurring in Egghead and in Elbaf is the food. The food, him getting the food is way more consistent. Again, and this isn't Luffy slander. I'm not slandering Luffy. It's just the reality of the situation at the moment. If he could just do this, right? Like, for anyone who wants to bring up the heart restart or the restart, right? For anyone who wants to do this, let me ask you one simple question. If he could do this all the time, why didn't he do it on Egghead? You see what I mean? If he could always restart himself when he's gassed out, why didn't he just do that in Egghead? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it genuinely does not. And again, this isn't Luffy slander. I am not slandering Luffy. A lot of people always think that if you criticize a character, that you're slandering them. This isn't slander. This is just a fact. This is just a fact at the moment. If Luffy could restart his heart, or like he could reset himself and go back into Gear 5 at any moment he wanted, he would have done it in Egghead. There was no reason for him to have just sat there on his back waiting for someone to help him. If he could just reset himself anytime he wants. Like, I appreciate that you're satisfied with the explanation, Marco. I appreciate that you're satisfied with it. I'm not necessarily defending the admirals per se, because like I said multiple times, I don't really care about the Yonko versus Admiral debate. I think I think it's tribalism, and I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid because there's a lot more nuance to One Piece than just like whether or not you're a Yonko or an Admiral. I think Luffy versus Kizaru really painted that picture, especially because, like I said, the Vivi cards, SBS, and just reading the story itself. You're crazy if you think that that Kizaru was going all out. You're crazy. If you think a guy who would willingly help his own enemy so he could help his friend out is going all out, you're crazy. Kizaru's putting on an act. I'm not saying the White Star gun didn't hurt Kizaru, because it did. I'm not saying it did not hurt him. But you're insane to think that Kizaru is using 100% of his full strength here. I don't think so. It's unquantifiable, but he is holding back. I hope we can agree on that. It's unquantifiable. I can't give you a 2 times multiplier, 3 times multiplier. I don't know how much he's holding back. But if he's helping his own enemy try to save Vegapunk, he's holding back. He's not. He could have killed Vegapunk anytime he wanted. He was just dragging his feet because he didn't want to do it. And then fucking Saturn pulls up and he has no choice. He has no choice. And then he's forced to kill Vegapunk. And then, like I said, I need to find it. I can probably put it up in a community tab later. But the VV cards basically said that he was done. He was done. In fact, you know what? I think I can actually... You know what? I can probably find it in my own video. Who's going to copyright myself? Me? No, I can probably find this shit in my own video. Hold on. We just look at this together, guys. Well, yeah, it was when I did my Whitebeard never stood chance at rooting for, because he didn't. He just didn't. In chapter 551 of the One Piece... All right, stop yapping me. When I'm talking about Kizaru... I believe I put I'm talking about the actual top tiers. The eyes and tell me with a straight face after reading Egghead that Kizaru was going all out on Marineford. My jaw hit the floor seeing this man whip out clones for the first time. Like, what do you mean? Like, where was this during the war? And also, when it comes to speed, Kizaru's ceiling is absurd considering he effortlessly dog-walked Snake Man Luffy. Someone so fast, Hybrid Kaido needs to use Future Sight just to counter the attacks landing on him. Kizaru the entire war barely did anything if we're being honest. All he did was just shoot at people and troll Whitebeard when he engaged him in battle. He didn't even bother using his lightsaber the entire war. No, it's not that video. I know I put it in one of my videos. I know I put it in one of them. Like I said, I'm gonna just have to put it, the community the tab up. I'll find it, I promise. Kizaru should be relative to the current admirals. The current admiral should be relative to Kizaru. They should be like the other admirals. I talked about in my Fujitora versus the Holy Knights videos. They should be scaling to him. They should be scaling to him. All right. A lot of people be like, oh, well, Kizaru's light, therefore, like, you know, it's impossible to. So if it's impossible for him to do it, if it's impossible to the other admirals to scale to Kizaru, then, you know, we're just gonna ignore Luffy doing it, you know? Luffy doesn't have any light powers. He just got a boost in his strength. Right? Like, let's not pretend like, you know, you can't just physically boost yourself to the point where you can compete with Kizaru. All right? If Kizaru was true light blitz man of all time, Kizaru would be like the strongest outside of Emu. If no one could scale to Kizaru's speed, that means he would low-key be the strongest character. If like, not to say that you can match Kizaru when it comes to travel speed, but when like you can't tell me other people can't fight him, right? I think that like it's made pretty clear. You don't have to be another user of light to scale to Kizaru. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if that's the case, there should be no reason why Luffy is boxing with Kizaru right now. There should be no reason why these two are clashing. You feel me? All right. So like the other admirals should scale. It's just hard to say at the moment. I believe Fujitora is going to get gas. I believe Green Bull is going to get more gas. Even though I hate Green Bull, I rep. If you want to talk about admirals, I rep Kuzan. I rep Fujitora. All right, those are the two specifically I rep for. Like I said, I'm not trying to debate Kaido versus Kizaru. I actually have a Kizaru video loading up for next week because I think that I have an interesting matchup for him. But we'll talk. I can get more into Kizaru like later during that video. But yeah, I just wanted to break it down. Like, people, like I said, they want to paint this picture that Luffy was dog walking Kizaru in their fight against each other when he wasn't. Like, I'll find the VV card statement, but it pretty much said that once once Kizaru took out Vegapunk, Kizaru was done. Kizaru was completely done. And he already had killed Vegapunk by this point. Saturn goes in, he stabs Vegapunk. And then here we have 1107. We have 1107. Where is it? I'm trying to find the panel. Okay, it's 1108. It's 1108. I believe it's 1108 where Kizaru kills Vegapunk, right? Yeah, right here. Perfect. Spawn right in at the chapter. So he goes, he kills his literal best friend. He goes and kills his best friend. And the VV card says once he did that, he was done. He was his fighting spirit left him. He was fucking cooked. He was done. And then people are like, "Oh, Pizza Kizaru, Pizza Kizaru." Like, no. It literally said he was done at this moment. And it's just like, yeah, Luffy comes in and starts wailing on him. Wailing on him and Saturn. So, like, I don't really understand why people like people pick and choose what statements that they want to like rep for, right? I would give Luffy a lot more credit if the VV card didn't state Kizaru was done after Vegapunk was taken out by him. And again, it's not really Luffy slander. That's not the point of this explanation. It's just people are pretending that Luffy just beat the brakes off Kizaru when he was completely done at this moment. When he killed Vegapunk, he had no fighting spirit left. He was mentally in hell at this moment. Blackbeard in commander level. Who is saying that? Who is saying Blackbeard right now is commander level? I need to see that. Blackbeard in commander level. Listen, I need y'all to understand this. Blackbeard is not a commander. Blackbeard is not a commander level. Blackbeard is a Yonko. He's earned his spot as a Yonko. Let's not downplay Blackbeard like that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. All right, let's not do that. Blackbeard is a Yonko, guys. We're not gonna play that game. All right. I made a whole video, which I still stand by. That Law post Wano packs up most commanders. I firmly believe that given all his feats, Law is packing up the vast majority of commanders in the verse. Okay. He is not like Blackbeard upscales automatically from that because he won the fight. Okay. Let's not pretend. All right. Let's not go and do that. Let's not go and call Blackbeard a commander at this point. A commander, if any commander, right? And listen, Law is Law. When you have characters like Law, Zoro, fucking Yamato Kid, when you have characters like them, they're above the average commanders, right? They're clearly above them. They either physically outscale them or they have abilities with their stats that like put them above them. Okay, we're not gonna play games and say that Blackbeard is not a commander. You know what's crazy about Blackbeard too? That I really appreciate the official colors showing, because again, what you're seeing right now on screen is the official colors, right? Look at this. He's got no orb around his fist. He's got no orb around his fist, and it's exerting hockey. Blackbeard might have advanced conqueror's hockey already. He might have it. Like full stop. He might have advanced conquerors already. He's infusing it with his quakes, possibly. But like I said, usually when Whitebeard launched a quake, he had the orb around his hand. There's no orb right here. Maybe It's just a stylistic choice. Maybe it's just Oda with art. Okay, I'm not gonna pretend like it couldn't just be a mistake with the art. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not. But to say Blackbeard is a commander level opponent is crazy. Respectfully, it's crazy. Blackbeard's a Yonko. He's earned a spot. All right. Shock Will was doing crazy damage to Big Mom, and Blackbeard goes on and he keeps fighting against Law. All right. If it's doing crazy damage to Big Mom, if Big Mom herself gasses up Law for this attack, like we're not gonna pretend like a King or a Katakuri is just gonna walk away from that shit. Okay, we're not gonna pretend that no, Blackbeard is that guy. Blackbeard will awaken his advanced Kakusaki during his fight with Shanks. Oh no, Kanashi, respectfully, don't give me that material, bro. Don't give me that material to work with. Don't give me that material to work with, bro. Because here's the thing: if Blackbeard unlocks advanced Conqueror's Haki during his fight with Shanks, son, oh my god, the Shanks slander I'm gonna get out of that bro. Don't say that to me. I will slander shit because listen, I already made a video on it. All right, it's well known. I do not fucking like Shanks. I don't. This is a Zehaha affiliated channel. I fuck with Blackbeard. I like Blackbeard. I'm part of the Blackbeard agenda. Let me tell you something right now. Mr. God King, red-haired wonder, fucking Joy Boy Hockey. People misinterpret that shit so many times. Mr. Joy Boy Hockey. If he loses to a person who just unlocked their advanced Conqueror's Haki mid-battle, son, I will slander Shanks' name to the end of time. Because let's be real, okay? Shanks and Blackbeard are going to fight each other. They're going to fight each other. And if we just go by narrative, Blackbeard is walking away the winner. Blackbeard is 100% walking away a winner. All right? Like we could get into it. Shanks and versus Blackbeard is destiny. Okay? It's destiny. Everything about these two it just screams that they're going to fight each other. Okay? I could break this down step by step real fast. Real fast. I know exactly what chapters I need to look at. We go to 966, Roger versus Whitebeard. All right. These two are rivals. All right. They're on opposite sides. They have been on opposite sides of each other their entire lives. All right. Blackbeard and Shanks have been fighting since they were kids. Okay. They have been on opposite sides since they were children. All right. We go to the fucking Elbaf flashback. All right. We go back over here. And I believe it's this chapter. I believe it's 1168. It could be the previous chapter. Okay. Could be 1167. Blah, 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 blah. Devoted Blade, blah, blah. Okay, 1166. I'm proving this point right here, bro. Blackbeard and Shanks were fighting each other. All right? They've been fighting since they were kids. They've been, hold on. Maybe it was 1167. We see Shanks during the fucking flashback. And boom, here it is. Yes, it was 1167. We see Shanks in the flashback, right? Fresh off the scar. fresh off the scar with Blackbeard, bro. This was Blackbeard gas, son. This was crazy gas, bro. We like, cause it's, you know, it's Shanks. The Oda's always gonna hype up Shanks, son. The fact that he showed Shanks, he showed Shanks pull up with that scar, that fresh scar from Blackbeard. Nah, son. This was Zehaha gas, bro. This was gas. This was funny as fuck to me. Nigga loses one fight, he runs to his daddy in the Holy Land. Oh, son, the slander was going bananas that day. Seeing Shanks with the fucking scar, son, that was funny. Yes, sir, that was funny. That was funny. And again, we go back to chapter 434, I believe, 434, right? It's why I made that fucking community post about Shanks, because I think he's fucking stupid. Because he goes in, right? He's actively hunting for Blackbeard right now. All right? He's actively, I need to really emphasize that. People think that Shanks and Blackbeard aren't gonna fight. They're gonna fight, and if they fight soon, Shanks is losing that fight. By narrative. I don't care if Blackbeard does him dirty or does him underhanded, he's losing that fight. Because we go over right here, 1079, when Shanks beats Kid, right? Shanks goes, "You got any intel on Blackbeard?" "Nope, just that he's left Pirate Island. I was sure he'd show up to Wano." That means when Shanks pulled up to Wano, when Shanks pulled up to fucking Wano, he pulled up there to look for Blackbeard. You understand? Like, I need people to really, really understand that. Shanks pulled up specifically to fight Blackbeard. He is hunting that man right now. And Blackbeard is 2 steps ahead. He came all that way just for Blackbeard. We go to chapter 434. Shanks' ass pulls up to Whitebeard and's like, "Hey, bro. Hey, I'm gonna need you to tell Ace to leave Blackbeard alone." He tells him to leave that scary man alone. All right? He is like, there is no one who gasses up Blackbeard more than Shanks. Let's keep it a whole stack. There's not a single person in the entire story of One Piece that hypes up Blackbeard more than Shanks. And Shanks fans hate it. They hate it. They hate it because they're just, they put so much stock, bro. They unironically think Shanks is Jesus. Like the way some Shanks fans talk about Blackbeard, they unironically think, or not Blackbeard, the way some Shanks fans talk about Shanks, they literally think he's like a genuine god. They call him God King. Unironically, they think Shanks is the solo god of the verse. Meanwhile, Shanks is the one person who consistently hypes Blackbeard up. Consistently. He's like, "Hey, man, I just want you to know there's no scar right now than the one this one still aches. He's gassing up the scar that Blackbeard gave him, son." And the true twist of the knife here, bro. The true twist of the knife. The true twist of the night, bro, is that Shanks goes and he says that he wasn't careless. He goes like this people always went, "Oh, Blackbeard's a cheat. He's a sneak merchant." Blah, 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 blah. Shanks is like, "No, bro, he got me." He fully admits Blackbeard got him. It's so stupid. Yeah, I'm not saying Blackbeard isn't shady. Blackbeard is the most shiesty nigga in the entire story. All right, point blank period. Blackbeard is a shiesty person. He is a snake. But Shanks, of all characters, is like, he didn't sneak me. He landed that shit on me. He got me. He was not careless. Stop. Before the fruit. Yes, exactly. Before the fruit, Marco. Before the fruit. Exactly. He says that before the fruit. There is no one in the entire story of One Piece that gasses up Blackbeard more than Shanks does. There's not a single soul who gasses up Blackbeard more than Shanks. Let's really talk about it. And the fact that in God's Valley we find out that these two literally share the same birthplace with each other. You know what I mean? Like they're destined. It's destiny that these two fight each other. The fact that Shanks and Blackbeard share the same homeland with each other. They were born on God's Valley. They were born on God's Valley. Like people genuinely think that Shanks versus Blackbeard isn't gonna happen. Or that if like it does happen, that Shanks is gonna walk away the winner. He's not. He's not. And this is less about me hating Shanks and more so just the fact by narrative, Blackbeard's walking away. Blackbeard is a Luffy W, okay? When Blackbeard falls, it's gonna be by Luffy. It's not gonna be by Shanks. It will not be by Shanks' hand. It will be by Blackbeard's hand. And if we go over to 580, I believe that's the end of Marineford right here. Shanks pulls up, blah, 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 blah. They're going, blah, 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 blah. Where the fuck is it? Maybe it was 579? I don't believe I passed it. Yeah, no, I didn't pass it. It was right here. I was right. It's 580. Shanks like, hey, yo, you want to fight, Teach? He's like, nah, bro, I'll pass. I got what I wanted. It's not the time. This is not yet the time for me to fight you. They're going to fight each other. And if they do, fucking Blackbeard is going to win that shit, bro. He's going to win. And this is the shit I don't understand. I'll go back to the fucking post I put. It pisses me off. It pisses me off with Shanks. Cause like, okay, he didn't want to fight Shanks. He didn't want to fight Blackbeard because he was calling off the war. All right. All conflict ended at this point. He said, hey, I'll like me and my crew will fight anyone who wants to keep going, right? The fight is over. So it makes no sense for Shanks, right? I said this in my pinned comment. It makes no sense for Shanks to want to fight Blackbeard at the moment. Like he's trying to stop fighting at Marineford, right? But people are like, well, I mean, it's about the balance and stuff. He's hunting Blackbeard right now. He's hunting Blackbeard right now. Why didn't you just take him out like earlier? Why did you wait 2 years to finally take out Blackbeard? People want to talk about the balance. If Shanks is going after Blackbeard right now, and let's say he takes out Blackbeard, the balance is off tilter. It's unbalanced now. You get what I mean? Removing Blackbeard ruins the balance. And that's what Shanks fans always want to bring up. They always want to bring up the balance. If Shanks takes out Blackbeard, the balance is gone. The balance of power shifts again. Why did Shanks wait 2 years for Blackbeard to get fucking stronger? I don't understand. Wow, I started a lot. Jack, respectfully, brother, respectfully, you know, this was a good conversation. All right. Don't feel negative. I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So don't feel bad at all. This was a fun conversation to have. But yeah, no. Shanks, if Shanks fights Blackbeard, if Shanks fights Blackbeard, and it's before Blackbeard fights Luffy, Shanks is dying. Shanks is either weaker than Blackbeard, ducking the fade, or stupid. There's no fourth option. Honestly, I agree. And yes, I have bias against Shanks. But like I said, why did he wait so long? Why would you go to another emperor, right? He goes to Whitebeard and is just like, hey man, I need you to call off Ace because like Blackbeard's just a dangerous person. He's just super duper dangerous. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. To me, at least, it's stupid. You go to another Yonko and you're asking him, you're pleading with him like, hey man, please call off Ace right now. This dude's dangerous. And this is genuinely Commander Blackbeard. This is Commander Blackbeard right here. He's Mr. Emperor Red-Haired Wonder Shanks is tweaking over Emperor Blackbeard. Okay? Or not Emperor Blackbeard. Commander Blackbeard. Excuse me, I misspoke. And like you're telling me you couldn't have come after Blackbeard a week later after Marineford? You know, you gave Kid the courtesy, right? You gave Kid courtesy. He was just like, hey man, you wanted to check in and make sure that Kid recovered, right? He literally was like, hey, are they all healed up from their fight in Wano? He didn't want to give a Kid a disrespectful fade, right? Shanks would have gone easy on Kid if Kid was still hurt from Wano. That's what it said. That's basically what this dialogue is. Shanks didn't like the idea of beating up Kid right after his fight with Big Mom. No. Shanks and Blackbeard are fighting each other. They're destined to fight each other. And I promise you, if Blackbeard fights Shanks, Shanks is dying. And I like that. I like that not just because I hate Shanks. I like that for the story because imagine how pissed off Luffy's going to be. Imagine how pissed off Luffy's going to be. Luffy already hates Blackbeard because Blackbeard is the reason Ace died. He's the key reason behind Ace's death, right? And Blackbeard tells him as much. He's like, yeah, man, we were actually going to come after you. I'm the reason why he's gone. I'm the reason why your boy got taken. I'll pull this shit up right here. I'm gonna pull up on Impel. I'm gonna pull up Impel Down right now, just for it. It's actually disgusting how I'm remembering these chapters. That's how many times I fucking read this story. I know I can ballpark it. Oh my god, bro, get out of my face with this shit. Straw Hat and Blackbeard. Thank you. Yes, this is what I wanted. Yep. He's like, Luffy is shocked, bro. He's shocked that this dude he's Blackbeard. He is like he's tweaking out because he just realized that the guy he met in Jaya is Blackbeard, the reason why Ace got taken out. All right, Luffy is on red alert, and Blackbeard flat out tells him in the next chapter, he's like, hey man, I was gunning after you. I was trying to take you out, but then we got fate. It was fate. He's like, I took Ace instead of you. He literally laughs in this man's face. He's the reason. He's the reason why Ace is gonna be executed. Like he's literally flexing on Luffy, right? So Luffy fucking despises Blackbeard. He hates Blackbeard for the reason Ace is gone. Imagine how pissed off Luffy's gonna be if Blackbeard tanks out Shanks. You know what I mean? Imagine how angry Luffy's gonna be when he finds out Blackbeard kills Shanks. Remember, when Luffy was talking to Loki, and Loki called Shanks a coward, and that made Luffy go immediately into Gear 4. He was that pissed off. I think it was right here. 11:29. No, like it's bad. It's bad. Like it's not good if Shanks fights Blackbeard soon, because that seals if Shanks fights Blackbeard, it seals his fate. He's gonna die. He's gonna die. That right here. This is the moment. Loki calls Shanks a fucking coward, and then fucking Luffy goes immediately into Bound Man. He's that upset. And he's just like, don't say that even as a joke. That was you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Blackbeard offing Shanks is going to send Luffy into a fucking tailspin. How much stock of the third devil fruit? I don't know. I think it would be nice to know that he has the third devil fruit. I think it's possible, right? I think it's possible because if we go back to Zebek, Zebek said he needed two fruits to complete his plan, right? And I'm assuming one of those fruits was the darkness fruit. I'm assuming that was the case. I don't have complete confirmation on that, but I'm assuming he says, like, he's like, to sum it all, there's two devil fruits out there that I want. One of them is most likely found on Elbaf, and its power will only be truly unlocked if Harold eats it. Right? So it could be the darkness fruit. It could be like, that he's referring to for the other one, and the other one is Loki's powers. Okay. So I don't know if Blackbeard is going to eat a third fruit. He has Whitebeards. He has his darkness fruit. He could eat a Logia fruit. Not Logia fruit. A mythical Zoan. Whatever that may be, I don't know. I don't know if Blackbeard eats another fruit. But if he does, preferably I'd want it to be a mythical Zoan. He already has a Logia. He already has one of the strongest Paramecia abilities in the verse. I think him having a mythical Logia fruit, I think that would be gas. Do you think Luffy's going to invade Pirate Island after Shanks' defeat? He likely would. He likely would. I mean, like, he finds out that not only is the guy who's the reason why his brother's dead, right? He finds out that same person has possibly killed his role model, the person he looks up to the most. And then the cherry on top is that Blackbeard has Garp right now. Blackbeard has Garp right now. Blackbeard is doing crazy psychic damage to Luffy's psyche. You know what I mean? He is fucking with Luffy's mentally. So that's what I'm talking about. Like Luffy is gonna fight Blackbeard. Like, the build up to these two going at it with each other, it's crazy. It's crazy. Blackbeard's strong as fuck, but he ain't the final villain. I think Blackbeard might steal Emu's chain. I'm not saying it as a fact. I think right now I have Emu as the final villain, but I wouldn't be shocked for Blackbeard to be. I don't know how. I just know Blackbeard is a shiesty person, and Blackbeard tends to get what he wants. Point blank period. Blackbeard tends to get what he wants. I don't know how. I wouldn't mind Blackbeard being Luffy's final opponent, but it's most likely Emu. Just given the lore and everything having to do with Emu, it's very hard to put Blackbeard in that final spot. I personally would like it because I just like the dynamic between Blackbeard and Luffy. But given just the lore and just everything having to do with Joy Boy and Davy Jones and stuff, it's Emu's most likely the final opponent. Most likely. How will Luffy react to Shanks beating up Bart? Man, bro. Luffy finds out that like he hears fucking Loki talking shit on Shanks, bro. And this causes him to go into Gear 4. Luffy finds out that Bartolomeo was fucking with Shanks. He's gonna be like, "Yo, ass deserved it." Like, there's no bigger glazer of Shanks than Luffy. There's no bigger glazer, bro. He was willing to sock someone with Gear 4 bound man just for making fun of Shanks. No. If Luffy finds out what Bardo did, he's gonna be like, "You shouldn't have been fucking with Shanks." Like, he's like, "You stupid idiot! You think I would ever try to mess with Shanks?" No. That doesn't mean Luffy wouldn't fight Shanks. Let me be clear. During Punk Hazard, Luffy flat out says that he wants to defeat all the emperors of the sea. He knows Shanks is an emperor. He just says that he doesn't want to fight Shanks first. Okay? So Luffy would fight Shanks, right? But it's only for the competition as a pirate. He has no malicious intent with Shanks. He has no beef with Shanks, but he would fight him as a pirate. And then like the very next day he would party with him. You know what I mean? Luffy cares about Bart like I care about sports on TV. Zero. I really want Blackbeard to be the final villain. I want it to. It's just kind of hard to envision. I'm just believing in the Blackbeard agenda. That's all. I really believe Davy Jones has a broken mythical zone fruit. I think if he's gonna have any fruit, I think he's gonna have the Kraken. I think Davy Jones is gonna have some crazy Kraken powers. I think that just makes sense with the theme of piracy and Davy Jones and stuff like that. I think he would probably have the Kraken for the mythical fruit. I think that makes a lot of sense. I could be wrong. I just think that thematically, as far as pirates go, there isn't a single time we've seen like an octopus before. It's pretty rare. I don't think in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I don't think there's any fish zone fruits outside of Kaido's fruit. Kaido's fruit is called the fish fruit, but it's just the model Azure Dragon because of the old Japanese story with the fish jumping over a mountain and in the end becomes a dragon. I don't think there's a single Zoan and like aquatic fruit. To my knowledge, I don't know a single aquatic Zoan fruit. I think he's gonna be a Kraken. I think he's gonna be a Kraken. If he has a mythical fruit, I think it would be a Kraken. Just with all the lore with Davy Jones and stuff like that, I think it would be really cool. I can't really, I don't know. I can't really see him. He could just have the darkness fruit. He could just be Luffy's Joy Boy. Blackbeard's Joy Boy. You know what I mean? We know Joy Boy has Luffy's fruit. Fucking Davy Jones could have the darkness fruit. It's entirely possible. That could be the reason why Zepek wanted to get it, because he was inspired by Davy Jones. But I personally would love the Kraken theory. I think that would just be fun to see. Because as far as I know, yeah, Kaido's the only one. Yeah, Kaido's the only one. He's the only one that has an aquatic fruit. Even though we've never seen Kaido swim in the ocean, it's called the fish fruit. So that tells you right there that there are aquatic types of fruits. Yeah, no. Blackbeard's just a fun case, man. It's just fun to be part of the Blackbeard agenda, bro. It's just fun. It's just a fun. Blackbeard's just a fun character. Blackbeard is always. That's the one thing I like about Blackbeard. Out of all the Yonkos that we've seen in the story, Blackbeard is the one that makes the most moves. He's the most active. He's always trying new shit. He's always after new stuff. He's always doing something. And I like that about Blackbeard a lot. Like Whitebeard, all Whitebeard did was just sail around with his crew and then like protect his territory. That was it. Shanks, he does the exact same thing. Big Mom, she's just making her empire bigger. And then Kaido, he sat on his ass for 20 years, just making his army bigger, right? That's all they really did. Blackbeard is the one who's like making huge strides. Blackbeard has made the most strides of any emperor, including Luffy, right now, at least. Right now. Blackbeard is the one that has made the most strides as an emperor to like getting to where he needs to be. Like Blackbeard has been a pirate for, like, not pirate, an emperor for 2 years. or maybe less than that, because we don't even know when exactly he fought Marco. He's been an emperor for at least 2 years, and he has poneglyphs. He's already established territories. It's stated he took over all Whitebeard's territories. He beat Marco in his fight. He has Kuzan. He stole fucking Pudding. Pudding is a person who's capable of reading the poneglyphs. For those who have forgotten the significance of Pudding, Pudding is someone who could read the poneglyphs. So that's huge. That's huge gas for Blackbeard. He stole all of Law's poneglyph rubbings. He has Kuzan. He has a fleet admiral like tier character under his banner. All of his crewmates got stronger. He's making the most moves. Point blank period. That's not even agenda. That's just facts. There isn't a single other Yonko who's moving like Blackbeard right now. Not a single one. The Blackbeard agenda is fun. Like, join the Blackbeard. Like, out of all the Yonkos, I believe in Blackbeard and I believe in Buggy the most. I don't invest in Straw Hats because that's lame. Investing in, like, not saying you can't like Straw Hats. I love the Straw Hats. I love every single member of the Straw Hats. I'm just like not gonna invest in them. Because like they're the main characters. Like, they're destined to be strong. Like, I'm sorry, like if you're invested like in like for agenda piece and all that, if you're invested in a Straw Hat, you're playing safety. You're not willing to take risk. You're not willing to take risk. Point blank period. Sorry. In a world full of death singers, Blackbeard is the only one who moves, is always moving the plot forward. Exactly. Right? Also, something else I didn't mention about Blackbeard. Blackbeard is taking shots. So let's really break this down, all right? I'm gonna break this down one by one. Real fast. Like I said already, he took over all of Whitebeard's territories. He's defeated Marco, cementing himself as an Emperor of the Sea. He has Kuzan under his banner. All of his crewmates got stronger over the years. He made a play for Boa's fruit. That didn't pan out the way he wanted it. Whatever. We're not really worried about that. But at least he tried. He goes, and like I said, all of his crewmates are getting stronger. And then his crew captures Blackbeard. He's not even there for that. His crew captures Garp. His crew captures Garp, right? And then he already sunk the entire he destroyed the entire base of the revolutionaries, right? And he's making a second play against them right now. He's making a second play against the revolutionaries. Son, like, there's no one else who is moving like Blackbeard, and that's why I like him. Like, he's doing way more than anybody else right now. Point blank period. That's not agenda, that's just facts. There's like Shanks, all Shanks does is just sail around. He's only getting active now that Luffy has he's reached his goal, like he's reached like the Yonko tiers, and he's unlocked his awakening. Now Shanks is starting to make his move. But like that's the most activity we've seen. Kaido, he sat for 20 years getting his people like together, his army together. Big Mom was just focusing on expanding her territory. That's all they really did. Blackbeard is making generational moves, one after the other. He's too goated. He's too goated. Like, the Blackbeard agenda is fun, bro. And I'm really curious to see how he's gonna fuck with the whatchamacallit? How he's gonna fuck with the revolutionaries. Cause all the revolutionaries have is Dragon. And Dragon has to pop off. This would be a perfect time for Dragon to pop off. And, if Mr. Flame Emperor is nearby, this is a perfect time for him to nut up or shut up, bro. Listen. Blackbeard goes after the revolutionaries. Let me tell y'all right now. Mr. Flame Emperor doesn't pop off, bro. I'll make a second video. I swear to God, I will make a second video on Sabo, bro. I will slander Sabo to hell and back, bro. Because this is a perfect opportunity for Sabo to actually cook. You know what I mean? Emperor, like, it was your fault. It was your fault why Burgess made it all the way to your first base. This is a perfect time. This is a perfect time to make up for what you did. No. Let me tell y'all right now, son. Let me tell y'all right now. If Blackbeard pops off against the revolutionaries again, and Dragon doesn't do something, and Sabo doesn't do something, expect a video from me. Expect a video from me within the week of that chapter dropping. He's got knowledge of the ancient weapons. You're right. You're right, Indifferent. He's got knowledge of the. This is what I mean. Blackbeard is different. He's different. Like he's bound because of Caribou, right? Because of Caribou. Caribou's gonna tell. Caribou knows about the ancient weapon in Wano, right? Caribou is going to tell Blackbeard. He's going to spill all the beans to Blackbeard about that, and he's going to make a play for Wano. He's going to go after the ancient weapon. So this is like, there's so many things for why Blackbeard versus Luffy is going to happen. All right, he's the reason Ace is dead. He's most likely going to kill Shanks. He has his grandfather captured, and then Wano is Luffy's territory. That is his territory, and he's going after it. Like you like Blackbeard, like versus Luffy is inevitable. We all know this, but like I said, Blackbeard's he's just a great character because he makes so many fucking moves. He makes so many moves. He's got so many plans laid out. He's got plans within plans, bro. No, he's a great strategist. Imagine if Sabo dies, son. Jack, if Sabo dies, expect a video from me within the week. Expect a video with me within the week, bro. You thought that intro to my last Sabo video was fun? Wait, if Sabo were to die, just wait, son. I know a lot of people loved my intro on my Sabo video. I put a lot of hate in that video. There was a lot of hate in that video. That intro, you could just feel my hatred, bro. I just need y'all to understand that. Let me tell y'all right now, Sabo were to die, expect a video from me within the week. Within the week of that chapter dropping, son, no. Yeah, that's why Mosa is freaking out. Exactly. It's more than likely Blackbeard, right? I don't really understand why anyone else would go after Fishman Island right now. There's no other big players at the moment. You know what I mean? There's no other big players besides Blackbeard. And it's consistent for Blackbeard. He's boxing everybody. He's going after, he's fucking with Shanks, he's fucking with Luffy, he's fucking with the revolutionaries, like Blackbeard, and he's also fucking with the world government. Because we know what's up. We know Blackbeard doesn't really care about joining the world government. He doesn't truly care about that shit. We know there's an ulterior motive. Blackbeard GAS is fun. Blackbeard GAS is fun because he's making so many fucking plays. That was a great video. I'm glad you liked it, man. Still not on that Mosa equals Shirahoshi train, not gonna lie. I don't know who Mosa would be if it's not Shirahoshi. I don't know who she would be if it wasn't Shirahoshi. But let's just say it's not, right? Someone's getting messed up. Someone's getting messed up right now. If Mosa isn't Shirahoshi, someone's getting their ass beat at the moment. If it's not Shirahoshi, I'm sorry to whoever's getting their ass whooped right now. Someone's getting fucked up. Don't talk to me about Smoker. Don't talk to me about Smoker, dog. Don't talk to me about Smoker. Smoker breaks my heart. Smoker breaks my heart. So much. You know, just you invoked his name. You invoked Big Fuji. Oh my god. Smoker broke my fucking heart, son. You invoked my goat, unlimited power. You invoked my goat. I know that chapter by heart. 793, son. Yes, sir. Yes, fucking sir. We go over, right, to Smoker. Oh no, yeah, we go over to Smoker. Smoker's like, dog, I couldn't have done what Fujitora did. Smoker's like, nah, bro, Fuji's different. Niggas always want to talk about Smoker. Niggas always want to talk about Smoker, like, oh, how he's like the only Marine that like goes against them and stuff. Smoker's like, nah, bro, Fuji's that guy. I couldn't do the same thing he did. For those who are unaware, Fuji on worldwide television bowed to a king of the world. The world government is supposed to always be above every country, right? The fact that a Navy admiral like Fujitora was willing to bro, just watch my Fujitora video. Watch my Fujitora video. Fujitora is fucking goated, bro. Fucking goated. One of the best characters Oda has ever crafted. By leaps and bounds. By leaps and bounds. Fujitora is literally one of the biggest ops to the world government. And he goes and he embarrasses them, right? Because he pulled back the curtain. He destroyed the smoke and mirrors and showed that the Marines were at full. And they were pissed. Kind of like, you know full well what it means for a Marine admiral to admit full. Why didn't you report to the headquarters first? And Fuji's like, if I had done that, I suppose the news would come out and tell a different story. He's like, we're not playing that bullshit, bro. No, Fuji is him, bro. Fuji took Smoker's chain. Yes, he did. Yes, the fuck he did. He stole his chain. He stole this man's chain. Yes, the fuck he did. And Akainu is pissed. He's pissed because he has not seen someone give him the middle finger like this since Kuzan, bro. Fujitora is that guy, bro. He don't care. He don't care. Fuji might be a revolutionary. All right? Fujitora might be a revolutionary. He might be undercover. He might be working for Dragon this whole time. I really feel like he might be a revolutionary. Everything points to him being a revolutionary. Everything does. Because, like, there's the thing, right? Fujitora believes the Marines, right? But so do the revolutionaries. In fact, they've gone on record saying that they have these same they both want the same thing. During the Kuma flashback, the revolutionaries literally said, Ivankov, I believe it was Ivankov who said that the Navy and the revolutionaries want the same thing, and that's to help people, right? That's the core of what they do, right? They're just going about it two different ways. All right. And I believe every regular Marine, they genuinely want to help people. There are a few corrupt bad apples, obviously. But Fujitora is a top dog who doesn't play that game. He don't give a fuck. That's why I think he low-key might be a revolutionary. Like, you know how crazy it is that, like, the reverie happened and a Navy admiral, once again, the most problematic Navy admiral that they have right now, goes and it's just like, yeah, Fujitora helped the revolutionaries. they're the biggest ops that they have, bro. The Navy and the revolutionaries, they're ops, bro. They're literally at war with each other. Over in the land of the gods, Fujitora helped the revolutionary army free slaves in broad daylight. He wasn't sneaking around, bro. In broad daylight. Like, no, Fujitora is my fucking guy, man. I love this dude. This is man who truly has a zero fucks policy. I love Fujitora. You know how a baller this is? He was gonna drop a meteor on them. He's gonna drop a meteor on the Celestial Dragons if Green Bull wasn't there, bro. And then he goes in broad daylight in their home territory, in Marijoa, goes and does this in front of everybody. No, man, Fujitora is that fucking guy, man. Like I will push the Fujitora agenda to the end of time, bro. I'm telling y'all to invest in this man right now. You will not be disappointed. Like if you reread, like I'm telling you right now, if you go back and you reread all of Dressrosa, just specifically for all the parts where Fujitora is in it, you will understand what I'm talking about. Fujitora is one of the most goated characters ever. Fujitora is like people got mad at me for saying that I believe Fujitora is a better Marine than Garp. Let me tell you this right now. Fujitora has been a Navy admiral for 2 years, right? For 2 years. And he has one of the most clearest forms of justice I've ever seen. Look at this, right? He leaves the arena. He's spectating the fight at Dressrosa. He goes in. So what sort of arrangement should be made, right? So the Navy's talking to him, right? And he's like, all right, let's get some battleships here. Let's also call for extra medics. We don't want people getting hurt. I want a head count of the people in the stands, the population of the town, and the kingdom. And he's like, hey, do we really need all that? He's like, the number we need to keep in mind ain't the enemy forces, it's the number of lives we ought to protect. This is the most goated Marine, bro. This is the most goated Marine. A top tier in the Marines who genuinely, with his whole heart, cares about the people. No, son. No, I might make another Fujitora video. Fuck it, bro. I might make another Fujitora video. I love Fujitora. He's a top 3 character for me. I love this man so much. He rereads, like I said, Dressrosa is a long arc. You don't have to read you don't have to read the entire arc. Just read the arcs, just read the parts specifically with Fujitora in it, and you will understand what I mean. This is one of the most goated characters ever. Who else is doing it like this, bro? What Navy admiral? Not just a regular Navy man. Not just a regular Navy person. What Navy admiral is pulling up and be like, you know how Garp is like, hey, I don't really do anything for the Celestial Dragons. Fuck them. Kuzan's on the same stance. Akainu doesn't like the fucking Celestial Dragons, but he's the fleet admiral, so he'll listen to him, right? Kizaru, whenever they need a mission done, he'll go out and he'll help the Celestial Dragons, whatever. Fujitora, broad daylight, fuck him. Fuck him. Was gonna drop a meteor on him, freeze their slaves in front of them, and the most gangster part about this whole situation that takes place, the most gangster part about Fujitora freeing the slaves, right? Let me go to it. Let me go to it right now. 965. I believe it's 965. Or 957? Yeah, 957. Most gangster part of this whole situation. He doesn't get in trouble for what he did. He doesn't get in trouble. He receives no backlash for what he did. That's the most gangster part about Fujitora. No, bro. Who else is disrespecting the Celestial Dragons like this? Nah, son. Let's really talk about it. Who else is disrespecting the Celestial Dragons like this? Getting away with it. Fujitora is that guy, bro. Fujitora is that guy. Invest in Fujitora. I'm begging all of you. I will hold the Fujitora. I feel like I'm the only one who ever talks about Fujitora in this community. And I will carry that, bro. I will carry that torch. Fujitora might even be top 5 power scaling wise. Let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk about it. Gravity? Nigga, are you gravity? You're telling me this dude can manipulate a fundamental force of the universe, right? And he's an admiral. Nah, son. Nah. Fujitora, in terms of just his fruit powers, son. His observation hockey, disgusting. What do you mean this man can pull fucking meteors from the sky? From space? What are we talking about? You mean to tell me he can sense that far? No, son. No, Fujitora is him. I still prefer Garp, but that's just because he's more entertaining. Fujitora is way more morally good than Garp, though. That's what I mean, right? I'm not saying I like Garp. Like I do like Garp. I think Fujitora's a better Marine than Garp. I think Fujitora is a better Marine than Garp. Because what Fujitora did, bowing down to King Riku back in Dressrosa, unheard of. Unheard of. Akainu and the Gurusei are tweaking when they find out Fujitora did this. They're like, what? They are shocked, bro. They are tweaking when they find out Fujitora did that. No, son. Fujitora is him. Fujitora is he's the one character that actually stands on his morals. He stands on business, bro. He doesn't like Kuzan. Okay, let me put it this way. Kuzan stands on his morals, right? He refused to work for Akainu, right? That's standing on your morals. He was willing to leave the entire Marines because he couldn't stand working for Akainu in his way of justice, right? Fujitora works for Akainu and still doesn't let him slide. He doesn't let him get away with nothing. Mr. Smoker, oh man, Smoker's so tough, Smoker's so cool. Smoker is not like that. Smoker's like Fujitora is that guy, bro. Fujitora Smoker gasses up Fujitora, son. No. I carried the torch, bro. And I'm glad to. I'll carry that fucking torch. Fujitora is that fucking guy, bro. No one's disrespecting the fucking Celestial Dragons like this. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Do I think Green Bull beat him in their fight? Okay, so there's nuance to that, right? There's nuance to that. I've had conversations with people about this before, right? So Fujitora's got banged up by Green Bull, right? He has visible scars. And that makes sense because Fujitora isn't a Logia, right? He's a not pacifista. He has a paramecia fruit. He doesn't heal the same way like Logias do. So it makes sense for him to have some damage, right? Here's the issue though. People make it seem like Green Bull bullied him, right? This is a tall task for any character. I don't care. If an admiral level character, right, is fighting you and you have to play defense to protect slaves. The slaves are literally behind him in the panel. He's playing defense to protect the slaves and the revolutionaries helping them free them, right? And he has to fend off a pissed off admiral, right? It's hard for him. It would be hard for anyone in that situation if they're forced to play defense the entire time against an angry admiral. You feel me? Like I'm giving Green Bull his credit, right? I said it also in the top 30 stream too, with the others. But I'm sorry, excuse me, guys. Sorry. I'm giving Green Bull his credit because like Fujitora has bandages. He has bandages from his fight against Green Bull. But first of all, it's just the one bandage on his head. We're not seeing anything else. It's just the one bandage on his head. And for a fight with another admiral, if that's all you got, that's not even that bad. It's not even that bad if we're keeping it real. Yes, Fujitora has a supreme. It was confirmed in an SBS. He has a supreme grade blade. His sword is a supreme grade blade. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Both of them are fine. Like if you're telling me Fujitora like he was playing defense against Fujitora protecting slaves the entire Fujitora's playing defense against Green Bull and protecting slaves, protecting a bunch of weak people behind him the entire time. And you're telling me all he left that fight with just like one like scar in his head? I think that's pretty fucking impressive. I think that's pretty impressive given the circumstances. I think at the moment Fujitora and Green Bull are relative to each other. I think that given just the nature of Fujitora, I think he's gonna pop off more than Green Bull. I think both of them are gonna pop off as we get closer to the final arc. I just think that like Oda's not gonna be too kind to anyone who's repping the Celestial Dragons. You know what I mean? Fujitora just seems like he seems like a larger than life character because he's just doing shit. What person, again, I'll repeat it one more time. What person defies the Celestial Dragons to such a degree, helping the Revolutionary Army and taking their slaves away from them, and he doesn't get in trouble. He doesn't get in trouble for any of it. You know what I mean? Oh, son, Fujitora is him. He's like that. I'll carry that flag. I'll carry the Fujitora agenda on my back, because this guy, I have so much faith that he's gonna do some crazy shit in the future. Kuzan lost his leg fighting an admiral. Yeah, that fight lasted for 10 days though. That fight lasted for 10 days. So, I mean, like I don't know. I think that fight lasted for 10 days. I think this was a little different circumstances. Like I said, I think Fujitora was forced to play defense because he's protecting slaves. They're literally behind him in the background. I think it's a little bit different from an honest 1v1 match. You know what I mean? Who you got in a fight, Kizaru or Fujitora? Listen. Listen. Listen to me right now when I tell you this, bro. Okay. So as of right now, based on feats and everything, Kizaru. Let Fujitora shine, bro. Let Fujitora shine, bro. Let Fujitora fight someone he actually wants to take out. I promise you, we're about to see a masterclass. We're about to see a masterclass. I think people forget. People always be like, oh, Kizaru. You know, light bends to gravity, right? You know, light literally bends to gravity. That's just physics right there. Light bends to gravity. All I'm saying is, like, you know, in terms of feats right now, I'm going to give it to Kizaru. I think Fujitora has a lot more chances to shine in the final story, in the final arc of the story. I think he does. Like, I believe it with my whole heart. You want to call the fight extreme diff? I'm not mad at that. But light bends to gravity. That's just how physics works. Just saying. But I'm a Fujitora. My bias is in full effect. I'm not gonna pretend like my bias is not in full effect right now. But I'm not even wrong when I say that. That's just how physics works, bro. Light bends to gravity. Blackbeard is the gravity Kizaru bends to, though. No, like light just bends to all kinds of gravity. It bends to intense gravity. It's not in the same vein. Like Blackbeard has gravity too. Like his darkness powers give him gravity powers, right? Like we've seen other like users of different fruits have access to similar abilities. Like Law can manipulate people's souls, just like Big Mom can. You know, like there's a lot of variations between like characters, right? Even though they have different abilities, that there are certain instances where they can perform similar things. So the whole thing with Blackbeard's gravity, that's just Fujitora upscale because Fujitora controls gravity. Fujitora pulls out a black hole, nigga, I will expect a video within a week. Expect a video within a week, bro. If Oda lets Fujitora fight someone who actually he wants to beat, right? Because Fujitora hasn't fought a single person who he like really wanted to take out, right? He wanted to take out Dofi, but he said like, "Hey, I'm gonna expose you for your corruption, and I'm gonna let the pieces fall. That's what's gonna take you out." He didn't want to take out Sabo. He was fucking sandbagging that whole fight. He didn't want to take out Luffy, sandbagging that entire fight too. And he was forced to fight against Green Bull, protecting slaves. Let Fujitora fight someone he actually wants to beat the fuck out of. I promise you, we're seeing a masterclass, bro. We're seeing a masterclass. How strong do I think Shamrock is? He's in that top tier range. Admiral Yonko, he's in that top tier range. He's 100% in that top tier range. I just don't. It's hard to even scale him though. Like it's hard to scale. I don't know if he's relative to Shanks. I don't know if he's above or below Shanks. I don't know. I know he's a top tier. I don't know if he's. I don't. That's all I can really say. We have basically nothing to compare for Shamrock. We know he has a magic dog sword. That's it. We don't know anything else. Shamrock could. I don't know, man. Shamrock's weird. And he's only weird because we don't know enough about him yet. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know enough about him. It's kind of hard to judge Shamrock when we know basically like zilch about his true strength. Like, he has a magic Cerberus dog sword that he can spawn, that he got from Emu, and the sword can fucking, you know, it hurt Loki, but like, this isn't really fair because Loki, not only was he chained down, he was also beaten up by Gunko while he was chained down. He couldn't defend himself. So this isn't really like upscale per se. Like, he's being held down by a bunch of Sea Prism cuffs. Sea Prism cuffs make Devil Fruit users weaker. That's just a fact. So it's hard to scale Shamrock with what we have at the moment. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and saying that he's a top tier because, you know, he is part of the final Saga 12. You know, he's going to play a key role in the final saga. So he's bound to cook eventually. It's just a matter of like how he scales in the hierarchy. I don't believe it until I see it. Like, I don't believe he's going to be like Shanks level, like a Shanks level combatant. Like, I don't think he's relative to Shanks until like he actually does something, or he's given like something concrete, like the Mihawk comparison in 1058. That's the only way. Like, okay, I'll give him like that cosign. But until further notice, like, nah. Like, honestly, like, he was low key just yapping right here when he was telling Loki that, hey, he would like I would kill you too. Like, I low key he was yapping, bro, because fucking Ibu thought Harold dying was impossible. I think Loki could probably beat the fuck out of Shamrock. Given the knowledge we know right now, that could change. Shamrock could get stronger. No, not that he could get stronger. Shamrock will have better showings in the future. But it's just hard to definitively scale him right now. Shamrock has both arms, all I'm going to say. I think that's fair. I can't remember where, but I believe there's a statement that said that Shanks grew himself. He trained himself back up to make up for the loss in strength he had to his losing his arm. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. I like, if like going with the two arms thing, I think it's fair to give him, like, you know, that leg up on Shanks if that's how Mihawk sees things, right? But then again, Mihawk is the strongest swordsman. If, you know, does that mean that he, you know, has this, like, it's hard to say if he has the same level of strength as, you know, someone like a Mihawk or a Shanks. We just don't know that. It was said that like he was comparable to Shanks in the past. You know what I mean? During the God's Valley flashback. But is it fair to say that stayed the same since? We don't have anything to give us that reasoning at the moment. It's entirely possible Shanks could have passed up Shamrock. I don't know. I know, like I said, Shamrock he's going to pop off in the future. Shamrock, exactly, indifferent. And exactly. Shamrock has to carry the Holy Knights. Garling is not carrying the Holy Knight. In fact, Garling is no longer a Holy Knight. Garling is no longer a Holy Knight. He's a freaking he's one of the Gurusei. Garling is no longer a part of the Holy Knight agenda. He's part of the Gurusei agenda. He, like, you canonically gain a huge stat buff with the elevation of the marks. So Garling has the strongest mark right now that's available, the Abyss mark. So canonically speaking, he's above every Holy Knight at the moment. He should be. He should be. But like, you know, Shamrock has no choice but to carry the Holy Knight agenda because Gunko's not doing it. Somers is most definitely. We already saw what happened to Somers. Somers ain't doing shit. Somers ain't doing nothing. Killingham, future Zoro victim over there. No, none of the Holy Knights are crazy, bro. None of the Holy Knights with their individual strength are like that. They're carried heavily by their by their regen. The only one you can put faith in is Shamrock. Point blank, period. Shamrock has to be the strongest Holy Knight right now. Imagine Garling with no emu amps. Like, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Excuse me. When that chapter dropped, when it was revealed that you gained a buff with the deep sea mark, that was even more slander against Garling. Because what the hell do you mean you get a stat buff and you still got your ass beat? Like, okay, again, a lot of people are just like, oh, well, you know, it was only because of it was rocks. No, man, that's bad. That's bad. I don't give a fuck. He had an army. He had another Holy Knight with him. Got his shit rocked. No. Garling is ass. Garling passed, like, yo, God Valley Garling is ass. God Valley Garling is ass. He's a fucking, like, a little sneaky snake, and not in the same vein as Blackbeard. No. Blackbeard makes being a snake look good. Garling is a fucking coward, bro. He waited to finally beat 1 HP rocks after Garp and Roger did all the work, and he gets called the champion of God's Valley. Fuck that. Fuck that, bro. He's a snake. I fucking hate. I hate him. I genuinely hate Garling. So, like, if you believe in the Holy Knight agenda, that you don't truly believe in the Holy Knight agenda. You believe in Shamrock. There is no Holy Knight agenda anymore. It's just Shamrock. It's just Shamrock. All right, let's keep it a stack. There is no Holy Knight agenda. The fact that fucking Emu themselves had to pull up to get shit done right now. There is none. There is none. All right. Gunko was gonna get her ass beat by Gabon if she didn't use Colin, his own son, as a human meat shield. You know what I mean? Somers got his butt whooped again. Retired Gabon. Killing him would have most likely suffered the same fate. There's no Holy Knight agenda. It's just Shamrock. Like, it's like, if you believe in Shamrock being super duper strong, I'm not mad at you for that. But there's no Holy Knight agenda. All right? This is not Gunko. This is Emu. Emu is putting in this crazy work right now. They were gonna get their ass beat bad. Imagine if Emu wasn't possessing Gunko's body. You know what I mean? And now we have Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Loki coming after these guys. They would get ragdolled. They would get their asses beat. The other Holy Knights could be cracked. Maybe. I'm not mad at that, Naj. I'm not mad at that per se. It's just kind of hard to believe in that, given what we know right now. I like I said in the very beginning of the stream, I think Killingham has one of the best fruits for a mythical Zoan. I think that his abilities are really cool. Do I believe anyone else is going to pass them up? No. Gunko's an A-team. Gunko's been a part of the Knights. Gunko is fucking Emu's handmaiden, right? Hard to put most Knights above her, except for Shamrock. You know? Fucking Somers. He's been a Holy Knight for ages. Kind of hard. I don't know. Like, I haven't seen the other Knights, sure, but like, do I think that their abilities are going to be are going to make up for the difference? I'm not personally speaking at the moment. I don't believe so. Yeah, Garling is an actual fraud. Garling is a legitimate fraud. Garling's Garling put up no numbers during God's Valley. Put up no numbers. He sucks. Garling is actually horrible. Holy Knight is just a worse Cypher pull in One Piece. Kind of. Like I said, the only reason why the Holy Knights are like they really are relevant to like any fights is because of their regen. It's truly because of their regen, and we already know based off Gabon old retired Gabon was able to like put in work. Imagine when King of Hell Zoro comes in. Imagine when Gear 5 Luffy comes in. Imagine when Loki with his mythical Zoan fruit comes in. And then, like I said, for Sanji Gas, Sanji's most likely going to fight Somers 1v1. And there's only that truly, if you're a part of the Sanji agenda, like I said earlier, that only means one thing. Sanji cannot do jack shit to Somers without advanced Conqueror's Haki. That's just the reality of the situation. If Sanji fights Somers in an honest 1v1 fight, best believe he's gaining advanced Conqueror's Haki. Like, if you're a Sanji fan, that is what you're praying for right now, for this to be an honest 1v1 fight between him and Somers. Because at that point, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. He's going to unlock it. Yeah, it's like Emu carries. Emu hard carries the Holy Knights. Literally. Imagine if these guys didn't. Fucking Usopp blew Gunko's fucking head off. You know what I mean? Imagine if they didn't have the regen. Gunko would be dead. Usopp is enough to blow this girl's head off. You know what I mean? No. That's canon. Like, Usopp was able to fucking blow Gunko's head off. No, man. It's not good for the Holy Knights, man. They are hard carried by the regen. Very much so. Sanji will one-shot Somers in the next chapter. Not without advanced Conqueror's Haki, my friend. Not without advanced Conqueror's Haki. But you better pray he gets it, because like that's the only way he wins the fight. Current Zoro beats God Valley Garling. We could talk about that. The problem with Garling during God's Valley, it's hard to scale him. He wasn't putting up any numbers, bro. He put up no buckets. Like, he put up nothing. And I know people would be like, oh, well, he lost to Rocks. Listen, man, he considered Somers a rival, right? Somers was his rival, right? Somers got bullied by God Valley Rayleigh. Got one tap by God Valley Rayleigh. That's not Prime Rayleigh. That's God Valley Rayleigh. You know what I mean? All the pirates in the God Valley got stronger, like post God's Valley. Usopp literally blitzed her. That's what I'm talking about. Also, Polar, Usopp agenda is dying. He has done nothing this arc. That might be one of the saddest things. That might be one of the saddest things right now. All right. To all the Usopp fans out there, I know you guys are suffering. I know y'all are suffering right now. Because Usopp hasn't done anything right now. I think Usopp's going to get his moment to shine. What exactly that might be, who can say? Who can say right now? I don't know what exactly Usopp's going to do. But, I mean, the Straw Hats are still being held down by Gunko's arrows. It's pretty clear that this is it's monster trio time right now, plus Loki. Like, I don't know. I want the other Straw Hats to pop off. I'm happy for Robin. She got some time to shine against Somers. She almost beat Somers, if we're being real. If she was able to push him off, she would have BFR'd him. She would have battlefield removed him, and it would have resulted in her W. I'm happy like Robin was able to cook a little bit against Somers. But yeah, no. Jinbei's not doing shit. Nami's not doing shit. Usopp is like they're all stuck. Brook is actually out. Brook found a way to get out, which is crazy. Like so Brook is the one who's gonna pop off soon. Brook is gonna have some time to shine. But for fucking Usopp, like I don't know what Usopp's gonna do. I know a lot of people said that Usopp might get Ragnar. Going back to his time when he was using a hammer and stuff. I don't believe Ragnar's gonna leave Loki. I'm not a believer in that. I don't believe Ragnar would leave Loki. That personally to me doesn't make much sense. Like, for one, Loki had to prove himself to Ragnar. That's the reason why Ragnar was like listens to Loki in the first place. Right? Like, it takes a Loki level combatant, right? It takes a Loki level character to gain Ragnar's respect. You feel me? That's not Usopp. That's not Usopp at all. So the whole theory of him getting Ragnar at the very end, I think it's incredibly unlikely. Yeah, I think it's incredibly unlikely. And also, Usopp still can be a scaredy cat, unfortunately. That's just the reality of the situation. Usopp is still kind of a scaredy cat. I would like for him to pop off and get over this whole pissing himself thing. He could still be scared, right? He could still get intimidated, but it's kind of like you're with your people now. This is Elbath. This is the people that you care about. And you're still pissing your pants. Come on, man. Ignore the fact that Oda didn't give much to Frankie and Egghead. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, so that I agree with that. I agree with that, Mega. That was bad. I really wanted Frankie to have a bigger role in Egghead, or at least him interacting with Vegapunk a lot more than what we saw in the story. Like, for a guy who modified his body based off of Vegapunk's old notes and stuff, I would have thought like Frankie would have had a lot more time and dialogue specifically with Prime Vegapunk. With Stella Vegapunk. Really unfortunate that we didn't get that. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I love all the Straw Hats. That doesn't mean that they're safe from critique from me. And honestly, man, I would hope Usopp actually pops off. Otherwise, we're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations. We're gonna have a lot of uncomfortable conversations, because with the way things are going and the way the stakes are going in the story, if we're being real, the other Straw Hats are getting phased out. They're getting phased out. It's just it's monster trio time. It's hard for Oda. I think it's Oda's reaching a point where it's kind of hard for him to make the other Straw Hats relevant in these big fights, when you have all these characters who are gonna give, Killingham is gonna give Zoro a good fight. Whether or not it's a fight comparable to King is debatable. We'll see what happens when we get there. And Somers is gonna give Sanji a good fight. We already saw what Somers did to Robin, so she's not winning that shit. And then Gunko soloed the crew. So Gunko soloed the everyone who wasn't a part of the monster trio, right? That's bad. That's just bad. We're reaching a point in the story where the other Straw Hats are kind of getting phased out, and it's really sad to see. Give me 1 second here. Yeah. Oda just has too many characters to handle. He does. He does. Give Usopp his flowers. He was on Demon Time with Gunko. Hey man, I'll give Usopp his credit. He went for the kill. He blew her head off. I'll give Usopp his credit. But then he ended up getting one shot by her. He ended up getting a knee to the face and losing. It's hard. I want this other Straw Hats to pop off. I want them to. Whether or not they actually do, I don't know. So far, the only one who's really had time to shine has been Robin. Robin had I think out of all the Straw Hats, during Wano, I think Robin had the best fight against the Tobiropo members. I think she had the most entertaining fight against Black Maria. I didn't really feel much with Jinbei and Who's Who. The only thing I felt about with Jinbei versus Who's Who, I was happy Jinbei whooped his ass because he was being fucking racist. That's about it. That's all I really felt with Jinbei. But Robin had the best fight, in my opinion, with Black and Maria. And then she has her time to shine. She finds out in Egghead that Saul is alive and stuff. And that's good. That's a good look for her. She's getting more relevance with the story. She's always going to have relevance because she can read the poneglyphs, for one. But she's always going to have relevance. And then she gets time to reunite with Saul. I think Robin has gotten a lot of stuff like for herself these like within these past couple arcs. I think a lot of the other Straw Hats are being kind of left behind. I'm hoping that changes. You know, I'm hoping each and every one of them, Jinbei included, I hope all of them pop off when they get free of these fucking arrows. But it's kind of hard to say at the moment. King can go. What is this kid connected to rock stuff? Is kid connected to rocks? Well, I mean, as far as I know, no. It's kind of hard to say, to be honest. I at the moment I don't really have anything that makes me believe kid's connected to rocks. The only connection he has to rocks is that Captain John had the same fruit as him. That's the only connection kid currently has to rocks at the moment. So I don't know if he's gonna do it. I hope kid's alive. I'll say that. I hope kid's alive. I hope kid isn't at the bottom of the ocean at the moment. Because if that's the case, he's dead as shit right now. But no, like I don't know. Kid's gone. Like the thing with Law is that we know Law's gonna come back, right? Law, first of all, he has D-Clan tax, and it was basically shown towards the end of Egghead that the D-Clan was going to like pop off, and we know Beppo made it to safety, so that means that like Kid is like Law is alive, and he's gonna come back in the story, right? I think Oda did that on purpose. He gave himself an out. Way harder to justify Kid, unfortunately. I've grown to like Kid. I admittedly used to slander him a lot more, but I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't. It's just kind of hard. Kind of hard. If he comes back, he will come. He will be stronger. He will be stronger, and he should get advanced Conqueror's Haki. I think it would be a waste of his potential for a Conqueror to not have advanced Conqueror's Haki. And imagine a Kid with Conqueror's Haki, by the way. Kid had Shanks tweaking, bro. Shanks saw the future, right? Shanks saw the future. Kid was tweaking out. Kid had Shanks tweaking out. He was scared, bro. A lot of Shanks fans don't like that. They don't like that. Shanks, he got sweat. He's got sweat right now. We're sweat scaling right now. I don't give a fuck. Shanks was scared. You can't tell me Shanks wasn't scared. He saw all the damage that Kid was going to do and was like, fuck, I got to put this guy down right now. And then he goes in, blitzes him, right? A lot of people say Shanks wasn't serious here. Not only was he concerned about the safety of his crew, which we know Shanks cares about his crew. He loves his crew. So yes, he is concerned about the safety of his crew, right? What character is just going to use Conqueror's Haki, advanced Conqueror's Haki on someone, and they're not serious? You know what I mean? You could say that this isn't Shanks' full power. Sure. But he's still using one of the strongest abilities in the verse against Kid. All right? There was some seriousness to this attack. We're not going to pretend like he's not. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to justify Kid still being alive at the moment. Then again, Oda barely kills people. So, Kid might make a comeback. It's just not as definitive as Law. Law will come back. Kid is a question mark. Do you think Kid was hit by his explosion as well? It's hard to say in the manga. I mean, the explosion happens. So, no, he was hit, actually. He was hit by it. The explosion goes off, and you see like Kid getting hit with the impact of it. So I think so. I think it was both. It was Shanks' Haki, because we clearly see like I said, we see the explosion and we see the Conqueror's Haki. So I think both things played a part in Kid getting like wiped. But yeah, I don't know if Kid's alive. Kind of hard to say. Like I said, I'll repeat it one more time. Law will come back. Kid is a question mark. Kid is open-ended. But a lot of people like to like diss Law and Kid for losing right here, right? And you know, Oda has like this imagery, right? They lost their ship, and you know they got defeated. Oh no, oh no. People forget Luffy went through the same thing in Subodi. He went through the exact same thing. It was the same kind of dialogue, you know what I mean? Like it was the same kind of finalized dialogue. Like they were like the Straw Hats got defeated. They were wiped out. They got it. I think it said they got annihilated in the by Kuma. You know, so people want to say like like Kid and Law can't make comebacks. They can make comebacks. It's just it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. But like, let me pull it up. Here we go. So Luffy, you know, Kuma squad wipes the Straw Hats. Yeah, look at this. That day, the Straw Hat Pirates, led by Captain Monkey D. Luffy, were eradicated. Right? Eradicated. That's a heavy fucking tone to make. Eradicated, right? And then we go back to Kid at Elbaf in the New World. 3 billion berry bounty pirate Eustace Captain Kid and his kid pirates destroy. Like it's the same kind of dialogue. We go to Laws and I believe 1086, I want to say. Or no, 1081. 1081. No, it was 10. It was around the time of Hachinosu. It was around the time when Garp pulled up to Hachinosu. I know that for a fact. I can't remember the chapter, but like I just want to put the example up just so people can understand that it's the same dialogue as Luffy getting squad wiped back during Enies Lobby, not Enies Lobby, Subodi. It's the same exact dialogue. Blah 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 blah. Where is it? Okay, I can't find it, but it's this chapter, right? Or not this chapter. It's around this time. I can't find the exact chapter. But when Law loses to Blackbeard, when it gets confirmed, the it's the same kind of dialogue as when the Straw Hats got like defeated. You know, they were eradicated. The kid pirates got destroyed. It's possible. It's possible for them to make a comeback. No, see, Christopher, the eradicated part means that that was for Luffy. That was for Luffy and the Straw Hats. All it said for Kid was that they got destroyed. You know what I mean? So the eradicated dialogue was for the Straw Hats. Kid Pirates just said they got destroyed. Whether like you know that's what I mean. It's possible for Kid to make a comeback, but it all depends on whether or not he's alive. We don't know that for certain. Yeah. And I think this is a good place to stop. I've been streaming for 4 hours. I've been streaming for 4 hours. I appreciate everyone who's stuck around for this long. Yeah, I'm gonna call it right here, and I'm going to consistently. We're gonna stream every Sunday at 12 p.m. PST. So you know, like I said, I appreciate everyone for showing up today. Thank you so much. If you want, join my membership. I would appreciate that. It helps me. It helps the channel. But yeah, every Sunday, 12 p.m. PST, maybe 11 a.m. PST, depending on if I have something to do personally in life. But yeah, we'll be back over here next Sunday and we'll talk more JJK. We'll talk more One Piece and whatever else you guys want to talk about. I appreciate you guys so much. Like for real. Thanks for giving me the time of day. Thank you for anyone who donates. Thank you for you guys watching my videos. Like I genuinely appreciate you guys. And I hope everyone has a great day. Everyone please stay safe too. Please Please, please, please stay safe. Like whenever I say that at the end of my videos, I genuinely mean it. I don't care if you hate my videos. I don't care if you disagree with me. Please stay safe in life. Shit's crazy right now in the world, in the country. If you're in America, I'm American. If you're if you're in America, shit's crazy right now. Stay safe, everybody. And yeah, we'll be back over here at 12 p.m. PST. I have 2 videos. I have a double upload this week so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, everyone be safe and have a great day. Later.